That movement is dead. Your shirt isn't valid.
It's still my team name, damn it.
Fair.
And this movement will never die.
Okay, Matt Hardy V1. Anyway, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the WWE Fantasy Log.
No longer.
No longer, I know. But I still like saying because it sounds better on the echo than saying XFL.
This is the XFL.
Yeah, we'll see. Yes, X-Pound Fantasy League time. We're going to do our thing. Tiff couldn't join us. It's late. Sorry. Shit happens.
We do have our predictions for the posts.
Yes, we do have. So we'll do our show and our predictions. This will be a slightly long one. Deal with it. Fire this right up. All right. In the lead at 24.93 is the Extremely Legit Yes Movement. Clocking in second place, the Rowdy Last Kickers at 21.55, and I'm trailing way the hell in the bag at 16.35.
Yeah, well.
Leaderboards. Top of the leaderboards is Dean Ambrose at 209 points, followed by Finn Balor at 199, the number one contender in the Universal title. Seth Rollins coming in at 178. Leo Rush at 161. Natalya at 147, just a point ahead of Becky Lynch at 146, who's only a point ahead of Ronda Rousey, the Raw Women's Champion, at 145. Sasha Banks clocking in at 143, number one contender to the Raw Women's title. Drew McIntyre is at 129, and running out the top 10 is the new Intercontinental Champion, the almighty Bobby Lashley. What?
That's such a stupid name.
Yeah, it works. Alrighty.
It's not Bob Almighty.
Ha. Who's Bob Almighty?
I can't call him Bruce. His name is Bob.
That's fair. Anyway. Let's go ahead into Raw. We will kick things off. Raw's emanating from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Boomer Sooner.
It is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So there's a lovely video package to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
Everything going to the program, which opens up with the Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar.
They finally got enough money to pay him, huh?
Yep. Brock comes out with Paulus.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen.
He's not that hoarse. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman.
And I finally got paid this week.
Oh, he was here on Alexa Bliss's show last week.
Yeah.
He was there. Anyway, he introduced himself in a last. We're talking about how last week on Raw, Finn Balor pinned John Cena. It was no fluke, and there was no controversy. Balor stepped up and seized the moment. So much so that John Cena, the second greatest of all time after Brock Lesnar, said he believes in Finn Balor. And Cena should believe in Finn Balor. You know, so much so that the WWE Universe has stood up in unison that they believe in Finn Balor. And you know what? You know, I believe in Finn Balor too. Because you see, Brock Lesnar was training to fight Braun Strowman, the monster among men. But he now has to defend his title against an opponent he has not trained for, who has a completely different style from Braun Strowman. And that is why Balor believes that he could be the next Universal Champion. And I believe that Finn Balor believes that he could be the next Universal Champion. See, Balor may have the voice that... See, Finn Balor may have the voice that matters, but I am the voice that martyrs. This Sunday, Brock Lesnar will turn Finn Balor into a martyr and a sacrifice for the sin of making you believe that Finn Balor can conquer the unconquerable.
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
Balor will be sacrificed for the sin of believing that he can slay the beast, Brock Lesnar. Now, once again, I don't deliver predictions. I deliver spoiler alerts. So, spoiler, Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble will put to bed the ridiculous notion that Finn Balor even belongs in the ring with Brock Lesnar. And when all is said and done, it will be Finn Balor lying on his back, broken, looking up at the lights saying, "Oh my God, I believe in Brock Lesnar."
Sounds like that was a pretty good promo.
It was an excellent promo.
That man needs to teach. I swear to God.
Agreed.
They need to throw him in the performance center like post haste.
Yeah. And then this was followed up by, as much as he'll act afraid to play the part.
Mm-hmm.
One of the few sounds that will legitimately make Paul Heyman afraid.
Dong.
That's one of them, but no, Brock beat The Undertaker. He's not super afraid of him anymore. Now, the one sound that makes anybody afraid.
What's that?
No chance! That's what you got!
Oh, okay.
So Vince strutted his way down to the ring.
Okay.
And got in the ring. And I said that Paul Heyman was going a little soft and that he was being kind on Finn Balor. Said that Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar, the only way anybody could believe that is if they believe in the story of David and Goliath. And Vince told his own version of this story about how David challenged Goliath, which led to Goliath beating the living holy hell out of David, and he was never seen again until he was reincarnated as Finn Balor. And he said that he has no doubt Balor has fans, which drew cheers. And, Vince said that he's not surprised given they're in hillbilly land. And, they booed at him. He's like, well, what did I say? And Paul Heyman turned around away from the camera and leaned over like he was whispering at Vince, but had his mic high enough that he could be heard. He goes, "Vince, you're talking too fast for them." And Vince said that the only way you think Balor can beat Brock Lesnar is if you believe in fairy tales. And then this was then followed by one of the other sounds that makes damn near anybody afraid.
Okay. With how much that man's choked, that would not scare me.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry. No offense, Braun.
Well, Braun Strowman marched out to the ring, and he got up on the apron. Vince asked him what the hell he was doing out there. Lesnar smirked at him, then took a step back so Strowman could get in the ring. Strowman said that last Monday was the worst night of his life because Baron Corbin cost him $100,000 in a championship match.
I thought Vince wasn't going to find him.
No, Vince fined him and cost him a championship match.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a liar.
Yeah. Over a shitty limo that Vince probably rented.
Hey, insurance isn't cheap.
That's true. Anyway, so, however, Strowman added that last Monday was the luckiest night of Brock Lesnar's life because he got out of having to have a match against the Monster Among Men. And he says that if Lesnar still has the Universal title after Sunday, he will find a way to get another match and he will rip Lesnar apart like another one of Vince's limousines. Vince replied that Braun Strowman is lucky to be employed at this point.
He's not wrong.
So Finn Balor then interrupted next. Crowd cheered. Got in the ring saying again, once again, the same old Monday Night Raw. Braun is out here doing Braun things. Meanwhile, I'm the guy that beat 3 other guys last week, including the greatest of all time, John Cena, to earn a Universal title match. Heyman stepped in to correct him. I'm sorry, second greatest after Brock Lesnar. Thank you. Continue. And Balor says that he earned the opportunity to face Brock, and that he knows Vince doesn't believe that he can beat Brock. And Vince said he didn't believe in fairy tales, but Balor said that he believes in the Balor Club and his fans, and that the Balor Club believes in him. And that he is going to beat Brock Lesnar. And Braun Strowman said to Finn that, I don't know if you can beat Brock Lesnar, but I hope you do. And Balor told Braun Strowman that he's going to do something that Braun has never done, and that's beat Brock Lesnar. So Lesnar and Heyman slipped out of the ring at this point as Balor and Strowman started getting in each other's faces after this line. And Balor told Vince, corrected Vince's story, saying that David stood in the shadow of a giant and laughed in his face. And they didn't know who David was or what he was made of. And until Goliath fell face down in the dirt. And no one was laughing then. And so Vince said they had an idea and said that we should have a real-life David versus Goliath moment here. And Brock, Paul, don't leave. Sit down here at ringside. You can watch this. We're going to have Finn Balor versus Braun Strowman right now.
I thought he wasn't cleared to wrestle.
Nope, he's cleared.
So they just... Okay.
Vince just changed his mind about the title match.
So I guess it really is true. They just didn't want him to leave. They just didn't want him to lose again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Does that mean Balor's going to lose since they want Brock to win?
I don't know. We'll find out. So with all that being said, that's promo to all those people.
Except for Vince.
And Brock gets a Brock gets a promo even though he didn't say anything because we always count him as having a promo when Paul wears promos for him.
I still think that's bullshit that he's the only one that's actually counted that way. But whatever.
He's Brock Lesnar. He doesn't have to follow rules. To quote a famous web series, screw the rules, he has money. Anyway, what else we got here? We got Finn Balor came out and cut a promo.
He has government shutdown money?
Or something like that. Who else was out here? Braun Strowman came out. He gets a promo. Okay.
Finn Balor?
I got Finn Balor.
Okay.
All right, so that happened.
Then we have ourselves a match?
We do have ourselves a match. It's worth noting this is Strowman's first match since the elbow surgery.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me scroll up here. All right. So Lesnar and Heyman hang out at ringside for this. They come back down the ramp and position themselves at ringside where the announce table would be if this were any other show. And we start off the match. And Balor starts trying to throw strikes, but Braun overpowers him with a clubbing blow. And knocks him down to the mat. Fight spills out to ringside, where Finn gets tackled into a barricade. They get back in the ring, and Braun hits a avalanche in the corner. Gets a 2 count off it. They end up back at ringside after this, where Braun misses a shot. And Balor fires back with a sling blade. He throws some strikes and then a sleeper hold back in the ring.
Okay.
And when Strowman managed to break free of that, Balor hit some elbows on him and then a double foot stomp to the chest.
Okay.
he went up top, but was on the side of the ring where Lesnar was, and he got in a staring contest with Lesnar, which distracted him long enough for Strowman to get up and shove Balor off the turnbuckle into Lesnar. And since Finn Balor was on his way toward him, and Brock couldn't do much else, Brock's instincts kicked in, so he caught Finn Balor out of midair and hit him with a belly-to-belly over-the-head suplex.
DQ?
No, surprisingly.
That seems like a load of bullshit.
I would tend to agree. But that was not listed as DQ, mostly because I don't think Brock went out of his way to attack Finn. Finn was thrown at him.
Doesn't matter. That would still, if he did anything but put him down, it would still constitute an assault.
Yeah, well, it happens. Anyway. So anyway, Lesnar, they got up on the apron, and Balor got back up and tripped Brock, who fell down on his back on the apron. And then he drop-kicked Lesnar into the ring post face first. He then hit a somersault dive over the top to take out Lesnar on the floor, then sling-bladed Strowman, then hit a dropkick on Lesnar and was owning both guys. Then hit another running dropkick that sent Lesnar flying into the barricade that damn near collapsed under his weight. Strowman then grabbed Balor and threw him back in the ring. He charged at Balor, but Balor moved and Strowman speared the ring post by mistake. Balor then drop-kicked him into the turnbuckle, went up top for the coup de grace. He connected with it, but after he got up from connecting with it, Lesnar had jumped back in the ring and hit Finn Balor with an F5, and that led to a DQ.
Okay, then.
So there you go. So, Brock Lesnar's going to get an interference and 2 moves. It's 8 points to Lesnar. And then, let's see, I guess technically Braun wins by DQ. No, Finn wins by DQ. So Braun gets 5 points for being in a match, and 1 move for the body avalanche is 6 points to Braun.
Okay.
And then Finn Balor gets 5 points for being in a match. He gets 8 moves. Is 13 points to Finn. And does he get anything for winning? Because he didn't. It was an unintentional DQ win, so he doesn't get anything for that. So
nope.
So
if anything, Braun gets a -4, I think.
No, because it wasn't an intentional DQ. Because Lesnar DQ'd him, so Braun doesn't get penalized for a DQ that he wasn't responsible for. Anyway, Balor gets 13.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Rolling on along. The announced team shilled the network.
As you do.
As you do. And they went to the ring for the celebration of the new Intercontinental Champion, the almighty Bobby Lashley.
The almighty.
Clap, 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 clap. So Bobby Lashley and his hype man Leo Rush came down for the promo.
The hype man of the hour?
The hype man of the hour. And he said that Bobby Lashley isn't going to do an open challenge because Lashley is a professional fighter and he fights for money, not for the people.
Chorus of boos.
Chorus of boos. There is a small podium, not really a podium, but a platform in the center of the ring. And so Lashley stood on it while a spotlight was on him. And Leo Rush put the title around his waist, and then Lashley did some posing.
Well, okay then.
They were then interrupted by Apollo Crews, who came out looking for a match, saying that these people aren't here to see Lashley pose, they're here to see Lashley fight. And Crews says he knows based on what was just said that it won't be a title match, and he's fine with that. He just wants to fight Lashley. And Leo Rush countered that Bobby Lashley is not going to fight you, but Bobby Lashley will have a pose off with you. And Leo Rush countered that he didn't really know how to pose, but Leo Rush said based on his track record, he didn't know how to be a champion either, so. Which was admittedly a good line from Leo Rush.
That is a good line.
So anyway, Lashley did some posing and the fans booed him. Then Cruz did some posing and the crowd cheered him. They went back and forth. And after Cruz's second attempt at posing, Bobby Lashley attempted to attack him, so Cruz knocked him out of the ring, and then picked up Leo Rush over his head in a gorilla press position and chucked him out of the ring onto Lashley on the floor.
So basically, Cruz isn't winning.
Yeah. So just to cover the earlier part, that's a promo to, let's see, Leo Rush. You know, I'll tell you what, if I give Bobby Lashley the Brock points, will it make you feel better? Since he's in the same boat where it's a promo for him, it's just being done on his behalf by his manager. I feel like he should still get the points.
Well, it still counts because he still did the pose down and everything. That's a promo.
That is true.
And, of course, Apollo gets promo. They all get promos.
Yeah.
Because Apollo came out and said stuff, and then the entire pose down wasn't even a match. It was a big, giant promo spot.
True.
And then they get assault points, right?
Yep.
Then I think Apollo gets 1 point for the military press slam on
Yep. So Lashley,
on the midget of the hour over there.
Yeah. 136, and then, whoa, jumping around. And then Apollo Crews gets 4 on the promo, 4 on an assault. It's 8 and 1 for the move is 9 to Apollo. 134. Yeah, we were all right. So anyway, following all of this, we go to a commercial break, and we come back from a commercial to find out that this has in fact become a match between Bobby Lashley and Apollo Crews. Non-title. And Cruz was in control early on. Hit some drop kicks and a clothesline and stuff. Got a roll up for a 2. He picked Lashley up for the gorilla press slam, but collapsed under his weight and dropped him, selling a back injury from attempting to lift that much weight. He went for it again and dropped Lashley properly the second time, jumping kick to the head. But Leo Rush popped up on the apron. Cruz grabbed him and chucked him in the ring. Went for the press slam on him, but while he was holding Leo Rush up, Lashley speared him and then pinned him.
Okay, so Cruz might actually win. Fair.
Yep. Given they just put the belt on Lashley, I wouldn't hold my breath. Anyway.
True, but given that Bobby Lashley is a legend, I could see them using him as a transitional champion to make one of their younger stars look better.
Maybe. Anyway, Leo Rush is going to get interference points. 172 for him. And then Apollo Crews gets 5 points for being in a match. And 3 moves is 8 points to Apollo Crews. Bobby Lashley gets 20 points for winning a match. He gets 5 for being in the match, is 25. And he gets 5 moves as 30 points to Bobby Lashley. It's about 166. So, meanwhile, Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush were on their way out, while Seth Rollins made his way in. And they kind of had a long stare down as they passed each other on the ramp. And we go to a commercial. We come back for the commercial to Seth Rollins, who has gotten a microphone. And he talked about how, we celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And that one quote stuck with him while talking about challenges and controversy. And, he says that a few months back, he had, 2 titles in his hand, 2 brothers by his side. And now he's got no titles and a broken family. And he said that we have to focus on what we do have, and that's why he's going to focus on his first love and his last love, this. All of this. He said as long as he's in this ring, he's got this microphone in his hand and this fire in his eyes, he can tell us that he's going to win the Royal Rumble match on Sunday. And he said that it's a long shot, but he doesn't give a damn. And he noted that, he's not as big as Drew McIntyre or Bobby Lashley, but he's a kid from a Midwestern town, and his folks did all they could to put food on the table and a roof over his head. And that he could be working in a factory or driving a truck, but the only reason he's not doing that is because of what's in his heart. He said, call it heart, passion, love, determination, whatever it is, it's ingrained in his soul and in every fiber of his being. And when the dust settles at the Royal Rumble, there will be one man left standing, one man going to WrestleMania, and that man is the man, Seth freaking Rollins.
Cue Becky Lynch.
Yeah, right.
So basically, he cut a Daniel Bryan promo.
Something like that.
So, it's the standard underdog babyface promo.
Yeah. So Drew McIntyre came out and replied to Seth Rollins, noting that he has approximately 0% chance of winning the Rumble. And he said that it's his style of flying around the ring. His style is flying around the ring, and inevitably that's going to cause him to get eliminated. And they said that if you had the heart, and if you had that heart, and you put it in the body of a 6'5" Terminator, you would get Drew McIntyre. I hope and pray that you and I are in the ring together at the end of the Royal Rumble, because I want you to hear the ring announcer say, the winner of the Royal Rumble, Drew McIntyre. That's a promo to these guys. $134. And Seth. $183. All right.
I'm the only one now who wants Drew McIntyre to have a WrestleMania match just so he can come out with a leather jacket and shades and the intro that's in the video game.
Huh.
To dun 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 dun. That would be awesome.
There you go.
He stands up from kneeling position in a ring of fire. That'd be fucking amazing.
That would be cool. Anyway, so after a commercial, these two have a scheduled match.
Oh, well.
That's why they came out.
Points to me.
Quite. And being these two, the match is very good and the match of the night. Although the main event was also good. And so they had some nice back and forth. Of course, Rollins trying to keep the pace up and McIntyre trying to slow it down. The commentators gave McIntyre credit for Cena's ankle injury that has been mentioned. Try to talk him up that way. They went back and forth for the beginning of the match. McIntyre ended up hitting a belly-to-belly suplex across the ring, and when Rollins tried to move near the ropes, McIntyre kicked him right out of the ring, then picked Rollins up and hit him with a reverse Alabama slam on the floor. And that did not look like it felt good.
That sounds like it hurt.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like that should be an OMG, unless he did it from the floor to the floor.
No, from the floor to the floor. It wasn't from the apron to the floor.
Okay.
No, just on the floor to the floor. That led to a commercial break, and we came back with Rollins having regained control with a blockbuster. Gets a roll-up, reverses a McIntyre powerbomb attempt into a hurricanrana, nails the Falcon Arrow, only gets a 2 out of it. Drew avoids the curb stomp, but Rollins manages to knee McIntyre into the turnbuckle, sets him up at a trio whoa, and he goes to the top, but McIntyre comes back, throws Rollins off the top. Rollins misses a running attack, hits a turnbuckle. McIntyre misses a Claymore as Rollins beats him to the punch with a super kick. Fans with a "This is awesome" chant. They have a slugfest, a Glasgow Kiss headbutt. McIntyre picked up Rollins and hit him with that modified white noise that he does. He then followed up with a sit-out powerbomb for a 2 count. He then went for another move, but Rollins countered that move into the dreaded roll-up of death and got the win.
The K2V2?
Yep. So Rollins with a victory on that.
Well, speaking of K2, slight tangent here while you're scoring.
Okay.
I saw an interview on YouTube today of someone interviewing Victoria and Molly Holly.
Okay.
And we need to make a correction from last year's Women's Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Molly Holly said in the interview that when she was approached to wrestle in the Royal Rumble, she went, "I'd love to, but holy fuck, I haven't wrestled in 10 years.
Ah.
So apparently we were wrong. She has not been doing this for 10 years.
Fair enough.
That was like her first time wrestling for 10 years, and she was still like, was that good? Good Lord.
Yeah. So anyway, Drew McIntyre is going to get 5 points for being in this match.
Oh, also?
Yep.
Trivia. Do you know who invented the Widow's Peak?
That's Victoria's move, right?
Yes. Do you know who invented that move? Because it came out in the interview.
Yeah, it's Molly.
Nope.
Oh.
She stole it from someone else. Someone who introduced himself backstage at the Women's Royal Rumble because he now currently works for WWE.
Oh.
He was 14 when he invented the move.
Wow.
His name is Roderick Strong.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
So, yeah, Molly ripped that off of Roderick Strong.
Wow.
And also, originally, like, they were trying to figure out a new move for Victoria or something, but Molly was considering doing it. And the only reason Victoria got the move and was approved is because Molly was showing Victoria how to do it in the ring. And so Victoria picks her up. She's like, yeah, do this, do that. And she does the ring. Right as she's doing the move, Vince McMahon just happens to walk by, kind of stops, looks at the move, and goes, holy shit. So literally just because Vince happened to be walking by, Vince was basically like, yeah, that's your finishing move. Go with that. I thought that was kind of cool. Anyway, back to the scoring. I just thought little nuggets of info here.
This is only anyway. Like I said, Drew McIntyre gets 5 points for being in this match. He gets 5 moves, is 10, and a reversal is 13 points to Drew McIntyre. So that becomes 44, 147 for him. Seth freaking Rollins gets 20 points for winning this match. He gets 5 for being in. It's 25. He gets 4 moves is 29, and 3 for a reversal. He has 32 points to Seth freaking Rollins.
Woohoo!
So let's see. That would put 85, 95, 05, 215. All right. Moving along. Following this, we cut backstage to the Revival. And they are complaining to Vince McMahon about the finish of their match last week. Saying that it was still unfair. And Vince asked them what they're proposing. And the Revival requests one more opportunity and said that they would like a special guest referee to call it down the middle and make sure they don't get screwed. Vince seems to agree that this is a good idea. And at the same time, Kurt Hawkins happens to walk over and ask for a match. And so Vince says that he's lost too many matches, but offers him a spot in the ring, being the, he offers him a job. He can either be in charge of setting the ring up, or he could be the guest referee for this match. And so he takes the guest ref spot. The Revival immediately begins trying to suck up to him. So that's a promo to the Revival and Kurt Hawkins. And what else? Dash Wilder, there he is. And Kurt Hawkins. 23. Okay. So following all this, we cut backstage to some area that happens to have a cage wall, and Dean Ambrose is there. He complains about losing the Intercontinental title, but said that he blames Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley, or as he calls him, Bend Over Bobby, for it. So he's going to go after them at the Royal Rumble and make sure they both get eliminated. And he said that last year wasn't great for him, but this year he's going to win the Royal Rumble. And then on Sunday, justice will be served. No, nothing? Okay.
Meh.
Promo to Ambrose. All right. So following this, we go to the ring for a 6-man tag match. Playa. Where Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers take on the Lucha House Party. And Mahal hit a body slam on Lince Dorado. Sunil Singh tagged in and tossed Kalisto out of the ring. Mahal came back in and applied a headlock. Then Sunil came in again. And Kalisto then took control with a spin kick on Sunil. That apparently didn't connect, but Sunil sold it anyway. Grand Metalik then tagged in, hit some drop kicks.
What, you're saying Sunil pulled a Jinder?
Apparently.
Well, I guess he is learning from the Maharaja on how to suck.
Pretty much. Anyway, Grand Metalik tagged in, hit some drop kicks, and then won the match off a backbreaker. So, just a completely boring, shitty match overall. Just absolute shit for everybody involved.
And after that match, Kalisto got a phone call on his cell phone from Jeff Hardy, who said, "I feel your pain, man."
Yep. Anyway. So. Jinder and the Singh brothers are going to get 5 points each for showing up.
You think this is going to lead to Jinder firing the Singh brothers?
Maybe. We'll see. All right. After that, so then we go to the Luchas. Lince Dorado gets 5 points for being in the match. and 15 points for being on the winning team. It's 20 points to Lindsay. And then we get Kalisto gets the same 20 points, plus Kalisto had 3 drop kicks, so 23 points to Kalisto. That's 102, and 20 is 122. And then Grand Metalik won the match on a backbreaker, so Grand Metalik gets 20 for winning and 5 for competing is 25 points to Grand Metalik. Puts him at 76. Okay.
Backbreaker wasn't one of his moves?
Not that I noticed.
Fair.
Yep. So, we get a video package about EC3.
EC3.
And then we see him in the back posing in a mirror. And Dana Brooke walks over and begins asking him for health and nutrition tips.
Okay, then.
Saying that he looked great and starts talking about... Because remember, Dana Brooke is a bodybuilder.
Right.
So they have that in common. She starts asking him what his nutritional regimen is, how he keeps looking like that. So that actually makes sense for her, for her character.
Fair.
So Elias walks by them and observes them briefly and then heads toward the ring.
Okay, then.
So technically that's a promo to Dana Brooke. I'll count it.
Then a mini to EC3.
Yep. And then we're not going to count Elias because he's coming out to do an actual promo anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So Elias comes out to the ring. And Elias does the usual spiel.
Mm-hmm. Who wants to walk with Elias?
Yep. But before Elias can start his song, Baron Corbin interrupts him and begins trashing him. And I guess Elias has friends in the truck now.
Okay.
Because Baron Corbin came out and the fans booed him. And he said that last week Elias almost got him killed when he ratted him out to Braun Strowman. And, he asked the fans what's wrong, and they called him hillbilly, saying Vince was right, as they kept booing him. He then said he's going to come down and put Elias in his place. And Elias replied that Corbin can't just do stuff like that because, in case you forgot, Corbin, you're not the general manager anymore. You got fired.
I was about to mention, man, Corbin went from being the acting general manager to, no offense to Elias, a bottom-of-the-barrel feud on Raw. That's kind of sad. Or do you not agree?
I agree.
I mean, literally, he went from, I think he was like a former world champion, he was former Mr. Money in the Bank, former acting general manager, to I'm feuding with Elias. Really?
Baron Corbin has not held the world title.
Okay. He was like Intercontinental title or U.S. champion at one point, wasn't he?
He was, yes, at least once. I think
he's a former champion, former Mr. Money in the Bank, former acting general manager. Now I'm walking with Elias. Wow, you have fallen, my friend.
To be fair, Elias is over as hell.
That still doesn't make it a top-tier feud.
Let's see here. Yes, Baron Corbin was the men's 2017 Money in the Bank winner. He is a one-time United States champion and the winner of the 2016 Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Anyway, so Elias reminded Corbin, you're not in charge anymore. You can't just come out and interrupt and dictate things. And also, given you're not in charge anymore, I don't know why you're still wearing that stupid vest. But in either case, you don't have any authority here anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and sing my song. And Baron Corbin attempted to interrupt Elias again, so Elias just told them to cut Corbin's mic off, and they did.
Well, okay then.
Apparently somebody named Lance is in the truck, because Elias told Lance to cut his microphone off.
Well, Elias is a successful recording artist.
Yes, it's true. So Elias then did a song about Baron Corbin interrupting his performance. Wondering if it's ever going to end, asking if we need to see him against Baron again. Corbin doesn't stand a chance, while telling Corbin to shut his mouth. And basically, that's it. Nobody cares about Corbin and asks why he wears a stupid vest knowing he got fired, yeah. So after this, Corbin jumped in the ring. Elias swung the guitar at him, and Corbin slid back out. But after the commercial break, the two had a match. It's not a particularly long match. We come back from the commercial to the two battling on the apron. Corbin then kicked Elias into the ring post. The fans chant, "You got fired," at him. Corbin then got thrown out of the ring and then slid back in for this clothesline spot. Elias hit a shoulder tackle and a knee to the jaw, and then a swinging neck breaker for a 2 count. But the ref was attempting to pull Elias back and didn't to hold him out of the way, so Corbin could recover. And Corbin punched Elias in the throat, which disabled him enough that once Elias was let free, he got hit with an end of days, and Corbin got the victory.
Well, yippee skippy for Baron.
Pretty much. So Elias gets 5 points for being in a match. And he gets 1 move. It's 6 points to Elias. Baron Corbin gets 20 points for winning this match. He gets 5 for being in it, is 25. And 2 moves is 27 points to Corbin. It's 37, and another 7 is 144. And a top 10 spot for Corbin for the moment. We then go to another commercial, and we come back to a moment of bliss. And Bliss notes that this Sunday at the Royal Rumble is the Women's Royal Rumble match. And Alexa Bliss noted that the winner could challenge either the Raw or SmackDown Women's Champion at WrestleMania, depending on show. And then there was a graphic was shown of all the participants that have been announced thus far. And Bliss said the names of each of the women and then introduced her guest that used to be her best friend, then her enemy. And she's the odds-on favorite to win the Royal Rumble match, Nia Jax. Nia Jax came out, but as soon as Alexa tried to answer a question, they got interrupted by Ember Moon. And Alexa complained about her showing up, and Ember said that she's tired of waiting for an invitation that was never going to come, and said that this Sunday she's going to win the Royal Rumble. Then Alicia Fox came out to remind everyone that she's the captain of this division, and that she's setting course on the road to WrestleMania. Then Mickie James came out and said that she has stolen the show at WrestleMania before, and that she fully intends to do it again. The Riot Squad then followed up after that. Then Dana Brooke, and then Tamina, and then Nikki Cross. All of whom came out and started arguing with each other about who was going to win the Royal Rumble. Alexa Bliss then stood up on her chair and told everybody to shut up, saying this was her show, and they are ruining her reputation as a legitimate talk show host. She told everybody to calm the hell down. And they did for a moment until Nia grabbed Ember Moon and shoved her back into the other women, causing a brawl to break out. A bunch of referees came out and attempted to break the fight up, and the brawl then moved to the backstage area, where they all kind of brawled into throwing each other into stuff, and then brawled through another door and just away from everybody. Meanwhile, back out on the stage, Alexa apologized to everyone for all that craziness, and then announced that she herself would be entering the Royal Rumble match, having been cleared to compete. She was then interrupted by the newly debuting Lacey Evans, who is apparently the female Southern Hunter Hearst Helmsley, who came out and noted that all these ladies are nasty, classless little girls. But that luckily for the WWE Universe, the winner of the Royal Rumble match will not be a sawed-off girly runt. The winner of the Rumble match will be a classy, sophisticated lady, Lacey Evans. So,
You cannot do a Southern accent, can you?
no, I can't. I fucked it up.
You did a British accent. Sort of.
Sorry.
That's okay. Continue.
A classy, sophisticated lady. Is that better?
Yeah, close.
Anyway, so let's see here. There's a lot of people. So Alexa gets a promo.
Mm-hmm. And Lacey gets a promo.
Yep. Hang on. And Lacey Evans gets a promo. All right. And then, let's see. Nia Jax gets a promo and an assault. Two. And then, let's see. Ember Moon gets a promo and an assault. We're at 109. Alicia Fox gets a promo and an assault. We're at 34. And then Mickie James gets a promo and an assault. 36. And then the Riot Squad, Nikki Cross, and Tamina just get assault. Logan. And Ruby. 40 and Liv Morgan. 31 and Nikki Cross. It's her at 31. Okay. All that said and done. Following this, we go to a commercial break. And we come back from a commercial to Titus O'Neil, who's in the back in a suit and cuts a promo about being in the Royal Rumble match this year. But some guy walked in the back of some stagehand walked in the back of his shot, and Titus got very upset at being disrespected. And then the guy just then walked away without saying anything after having walked into the shot without saying anything. And this just annoyed Titus, who was like, what the hell?
What the hell?
Yeah. I don't know what the purpose of this was. I don't know. But it's a promo to Titus. Worldwide. All right. So after that promo, we go to the ring where we have the in-ring main roster debut of Heavy Machinery taking on the Ascension in a tag team match player.
Well, all right then.
Indeed. This is a good match. If only because Heavy Machinery was made to look good, which was the point.
Okay.
They got their credentials put over. Tucker Knight hit a nice lateral press on Victor. It was a running double knee maneuver, a shoulder tackle. Then Otis Dozvik came in and did this weird, like, hopping one-footed dance thing into an elbow drop. Victor then got splashed against a turnbuckle with a body avalanche. Then Dozvik hit his version of the worm, which is called the caterpillar, where after doing the wriggle maneuver, instead of going for the hoo and dropping an arm, he jumps in the air and hits an elbow drop. Tucker Knight then knocked Connor off the apron, and then Dozvik picked up Victor and had him in like a stand or like a sideways body slam type position. And then Tucker Knight went off the ropes and they did their double team maneuver where Tucker jumps onto the back of Dozvik and they double slam the guy with twice the weight, which they refer to as the compactor or the trash compactor, depending. And then Tucker Knight covered Victor for the win. So basically a squash match to show off Heavy Machinery. Effective at its purpose, and Otis Dozvik is incredibly agile for a large man.
Fair.
So the Ascension each get 5 points for getting themselves on TV. I did like Corey Graves' comment after the double team finish of I hope Connor brought a spatula to scrape Victor off the mat, because that was about 600 pounds of man that just collapsed on him. And meanwhile, Heavy Machinery, Otis Dozvik gets 15 points for being on the winning team. He gets 5 for competing. And he gets 3 moves. It's 23 points to Otis Dozvik. Puts him at 31. And Tucker Knight gets 20 points for winning the match. He gets 5 for competing. It's 25, and 2 moves is 27 points to Tucker Knight. Points is 35 for him. Okay. So we did that. Let's see. They advertised that there's a new WWE 24 special about last year's WrestleMania. You still with me? You're being very quiet.
I am here, yes.
And stop muting and actually participate in the goddamn show.
I am participating in the show. I say stuff all the time. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Anyway. So after we clear that whole thing up, it's time for the Raw Tag Team title match. With Bobby Roode and Chad Gable defending against the Revival with special guest referee Kurt Hawkins.
I'm looking forward to this.
All right, so Dash Wilder, while Hawkins was making Bobby Roode stay in his corner, Dash Wilder pulled Chad Gable by the hair and slammed him on the mat. He then beat up Chad Gable for a while. And then they attacked Bobby Roode in the opposite corner. And then Gable came back in and hit a top rope clothesline. Gable and Roode hit stereo T-bone suplexes. Roode then hit a back body drop and sent Gable over the top onto Wilder on the floor. Dawson then hit Gable with a clothesline. The heels took control as we went into a commercial break. We come back to the heels in control, but Gable breaking free from a slam attempt, attacking in Bobby Roode, who hits a back body drop and a side slam. Then a shoulder tackle, and then the big spine buster. With Dash Wilder on the apron, Bobby Roode wanted a suplex. Wilder landed on top, and Dawson held the leg of Bobby Roode, and Kurt Hawkins saw it and called them on it. Dawson then went for a forearm of Bobby Roode. Wilder did a roll-up with his feet on the ropes, and Hawkins caught that and stopped the count. Gable was a legal man and hit a cross body block that got a 2. Because Dawson rolled it into a pinfall on his side, but then Hawkins caught him grabbing the tights. And that's 3 times that Hawkins caught the Revival trying to cheat. Dawson then shoved Chad Gable, and after another roll-up attempt, they tried to cheat again as Dash Wilder tried to hold on to Dawson's hands during the roll-up so that Gable couldn't kick out. But instead, Gable still managed to turn the pinfall around and got the victory for a title retention.
Oh, sorry, that was unmuted. I said appearing next week on AEW. Hello.
Yeah, we'll see.
Their career is apparently not going anywhere, so they might as well.
Assuming Vince lets them. The thing is, they're under contract till 2021.
Oh.
So Vince
could ask for their release.
They could, and Vince could very well say, "No, screw you. Go sit at home. I'll pay you for 3 years not to wrestle in my competition." He has that right.
He does.
Anyway, so that's a title retention for the champs there. But in the meantime, the Revival did not, as far as I can tell, hit any actual moves in this match. They just tried to cheat. So the Revival will get 5 points each for being in this match. Where's Scott Dawson? And Dash Wilder. All right. Meanwhile, on the side of the champs, Bobby Roode gets 15 points for being on the winning team. He gets 15 points for retention of the tag titles, is 30. Gets 5 points for being in the match, is 35. And 2 moves is 37 points to Bobby Roode.
Okay.
Really glad I got Roode and Gable now.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, that's 37 points. It's exactly 130. Perfect. And then Chad Gable won the match. So Chad Gable's going to get 20 points for winning the match. 15 for title retention is 35. 5 for being in the match is 40. And Chad Gable also had 2 moves. Is 42 points to Chad Gable. Becomes, let's see, that becomes 52 and 9 is 61. I'm confused. How many points did I say he had? 42? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, right, so 42. So that's going to put it, so 40 is going to put him at, what was it, 59? Yeah, 61. 161. And a top 10 spot for Chad Gable for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
After the match, the Revival began complaining to Kurt Hawkins about the outcome, and when he didn't want to hear any of their shit, they began beating the crap out of him. So that's an assault to the members of the Revival.
Mm-hmm.
But as they were assaulting him, the save was made by Zack Ryder. Woo woo woo, you know it. Who came out and dispatched the Revival. And the fans cheered as he then offered a hand and helped Kurt Hawkins to his feet.
On this day, they see clearly.
Our tag team has come to life.
There you go.
All right, so it's going to be an assault to the Revival.
So is that how Kurt Hawkins is going to end the losing streak, by face turning?
I guess so.
By face turning and joining a division devoid of actual competition?
Apparently.
Okay, that's one way to win a match. Go fight people who are about as bad as you are and can't win a match either.
Yeah. All right, so that's Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson. Wait, hang on, did I just do that right? Go back. What did I just do? That should be 92, not 93. I did that right. There we go. And then assault to Scott Dawson. It's 83. And then an assault to Zack Ryder for the save. Him at 19. And there we go. And then, of course, Kurt Hawkins gets points for being a special guest referee.
Of course.
How many points does he get for that anyway? I haven't done that in a while. Let's see.
Beats the shat out of me.
Let's see here. Special guest referee is worth 10 points. 10 points to Kurt Hawkins.
Fair.
All right. So following that, we cut to the backstage area where Ronda Rousey is interviewed by Charlie Caruso. And Ronda says that she didn't owe Sasha Banks an apology and noted that Banks insulted her after she was the one that challenged her. Ronda had a problem here because she started rambling a bit. It seemed fairly obvious that she forgot her promo, but she was able to salvage it by selling it as she was so upset and pissed off at Sasha Banks that she just couldn't get words out. So it actually wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
But it was weird.
Fair.
But Rousey did end it strong, noting that Sasha walks around and thinking she's the boss. Well, Ronda's the boss's boss, the HBIC, and the Raw Women's Champion.
So, question.
Yes.
Would Ronda get the points deduction for a botch here? Since we've instituted botch negations?
I would say no, because part of it was the weird-ass writing she was given, and she did manage to save it by making it sound intense.
Fair. Just thought I'd ask since we rarely get to use it because botches don't happen that frequently.
They happen more than they should.
True. Oh, speaking of which, Sunil Singh should get a deduction for that goddamn botch.
Hang on. Let me give Ronda promo points. And 25, 150 for Ronda. But the question is, was it his fault or was it Kalisto's fault? Or Metalik, whichever one of them whiffed the move.
Given the fact who his quote-unquote mentor is, I'm going to go with it's his fault for being not in the right place.
Fair enough. Then I will subtract points from Sunil Singh for that.
It was Sunil who botched it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think Samir tagged in the match.
Fair.
So what's our botch reduction?
Let me take a look.
That's it's -3 for a minor botch, -5 for a major botch. I would call that a minor botch.
I would call that a minor botch.
So it's a -3 points to Sunil Singh. So 44. All right. So then we go out to the ring. There's an NXT TakeOver commercial. And then we had we opened up with Sasha doing a promo asking who Ronda thinks that she is, and bragging about her own performance in the Royal Rumble previously, while noting that Rousey didn't give her anything, and that Banks said that she earned it when she beat Nia Jax by making her tap out, and that she'll make Rousey tap out at the Royal Rumble. So promo to Sasha.
Okay.
And then our main event is a tag team match play of Ronda and Natalya versus the Boss and Hug Connection.
Fair.
But unfortunately, not a particularly long match, given how late it started.
Mm-hmm.
So, So Banks started off by knocking Rousey off the apron with a cheap shot. Then the Boston Hug started double teaming Natalya. Bailey with a forearm, Banks with a kick. Rousey had enough, so she jumped in the ring and knocked Bailey did knocked Bailey out, and then did an arm wringer takedown on Sasha. Bailey and Banks slid out of the ring, and Rousey talked some trash as we go to a commercial. We come back with Natalya in control of Sasha. Rousey tagged in, and they did a heart attack double team clothesline. Natalya then tagged back in. Bailey sent Natalya into a turnbuckle, and Banks hit a double knee attack. Then Bailey with a Bailey Kenrana out of the corner. And then Sasha with a double Meteora knee attack. Natalya had Banks on her shoulders then. Rousey tagged in, and Banks managed to get out of a Rousey hold, leading to Banks applying the Banks statement. Natalya saved Ronda from that maneuver. Ronda kicked Banks down, but then Banks kicked back, then hit a backstabber. Bailey wanted to do the Bailey to belly, but Rousey managed to take her down with a hip toss instead, then kneed Bailey in the chest and kicked her into the turnbuckle. She then threw that corner striking combination that Ronda likes to do. But Bailey managed to catch Rousey by the foot on one of the kicks and switched her into the turnbuckle. Banks then went up top and hit a double axe handle to Rousey's arm. Did a takedown. Sasha rolled out to the ropes. And Rousey locked in an armbar on Sasha, and Sasha grabbed the ropes and broke the hold. Sasha then kicked Ronda, and Natalya tagged in, hit Banks with a suplex, and then stepped on her back and then hit her with a drop kick. She then put Sasha in a sharpshooter, but Bailey saved her from that. Bailey then knocked Ronda off the apron, and Natalya then hit Bailey with a clothesline in response. She then picked Sasha Banks up, and there was a very unfortunate moment here that kind of drew the most of the internet and media attention for what was otherwise a good match.
Okay.
Because Natalya lifted Sasha Banks up for something or another. Not 100% sure what it was. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what happened there. But Natalya picked Sasha up to do something or other. Presumably a suplex of some kind. And I don't know, whatever got caught or whatever the hell happened, but Sasha's trunks got pulled down.
Okay, then.
So there was a wardrobe malfunction, and the cameras cut to black, but not before everybody got a big old shot of Sasha's ass.
Okay, then.
And the camera cut to black for a minute, and during that time, Sasha managed to pull her trunks back up and then slapped the bank statement on Natalya and tapped her out.
Hmm. I don't know whether to say subtract 3 points from Sasha for the wardrobe malfunction or give her 5 points for an OMG.
Man, we're not being sexist here. We're not doing that. Fucking asshole. Anyway. So. Either way, it was a good match. And then Raw ended as Rousey and Banks got in each other's faces and their respective partners tried to hold them back.
Okay, then.
So, main event. Scroll down here. Scroll. There we go. Okay. So Sasha got the win on that. So we'll do the losers first. So Natalya gets 5 points for being in a match. 4 points for being in the main event is 9. And 3 moves is 12 points to Natalya.
All right.
159. Ronda Rousey gets 5 points for being in the match. She gets 4 points for being in the main event. Is 9. She also had 3 moves. Is 12 points to Ronda. $62. On the winning side, we have Bayley, who's going to get herself 15 points for being on the winning team. 5 for being in the match is 20. 4 for being in the main event is 24. And 2 moves is 26 points to Bayley.
Woo. Let's go, Bayley.
It's 152. And then Sasha Banks is going to get 20 points for winning this match. She's going to get 5 for being in the match is 25. She's going to get 5 for winning the main event is 30. 4 for being in the main event is 34. 4 moves is 38. And the reversal of grabbing the ropes to get out of the armbar is 41 points to Sasha. Would be 88, 189 for Sasha. All right. Thus endeth Monday Night Raw.
To the happy totals.
Yeah, let me add the things.
Add the thing.
It's 21st, right? Yeah. And then SDL 1 22 19. And then 205 Live is back on SmackDown night, right?
I think that's what we've established, yes.
Okay.
Well, it's also on the 22nd.
All right. So let's go and see what we got here.
Hit the refresh.
Yeah, let me get to the data button. Boom. Okay. So, still in the lead at 27.91, extremely legit yes movement, followed at 23.29 by the Rowdy Last Kickers, and I'm trailing them back at 18.16.
Well, if we've learned anything, shit can massively change between now and WrestleMania.
Yeah, we'll see.
You're not that far behind, all things considered.
Yeah. All things considered, I'm almost 1,000 points behind you.
Yeah, I can say you're not that far. It could be worse.
It could be, but that's
I think
normally...
1,000. You're less than 1,000 points behind me. You're like 900 behind me. I think that you can easily make up between now and WrestleMania, depending on what happens.
We'll see. So that was Raw. It was a thing.
It was a thing.
It was a thing.
All right, time for me to rattle off a bunch of numbers.
Yep. Let me go over to the SmackDown.
Scroll up. Okay.
All right. All right. So, SmackDown's coming from Wichita, Kansas.
All right. The heartland of America.
Yep. Oh, we opened up the program with the man, Becky Lynch.
Not addressing Seth Rollins.
Hmm?
Said not addressing Seth Rollins.
Not that I see, no.
Can't believe she let that go.
In all fairness, he was the man first.
Yeah, but she made it mean something.
Ooh.
Well, it's true. Seth, to be honest, Seth calling himself the man didn't really have that much meaning compared to Becky calling herself the man.
Well, it had meaning in respect to Roman being the guy and Dean being the dude.
Yeah, that's my point. It was just a title so they could complete the trifecta, whereas Becky actually kind of earned the moniker.
Except that Seth started calling himself the man first, and then the other two jumped on the bandwagon. Seth
True.
was the man because he was the first one to hold the world title and really get over on his own. That's why he was the man.
I thought he started calling himself the man because he was the only one that was quote unquote smart enough to turn on the other two.
Maybe.
Because I thought he started calling himself that when he heel turned to kind of rub it in their faces.
Anyway, Becky came out of the ring and said there's nothing she likes doing more than standing in the ring fighting, but the man has something to say. She says that everybody has an opinion about the man, and she said that the only thing that the man should be doing is main eventing WrestleMania. This got a pop. She said that she should slap the heads off of every person who gets in her way, and that the journey starts in 5 days at the Royal Rumble. She talked about Asuka, noting that Asuka is undoubtedly one of the best in the world, but that Becky is better, and added that Asuka never beat her for that title, and the fact that and the fact that that isn't eating Asuka up inside tells her everything she needs to know about Asuka. She claimed that she's taking her title back because she's already dethroned the Queen, Charlotte, and she's going to break the Empress. This led to Asuka coming out. Decent ovation. And she got in the ring and held the title up. And she got the microphone and she yelled in Japanese. I don't know what she said.
Okay, then.
Then Charlotte came out. And she gets to the ring saying that she's enjoying this and is excited for their match on Sunday, and that nothing's going to be more exciting. As much as she's enjoying this, excited for the match on Sunday, nothing's going to be more exciting than when she tosses 29 other women over the top rope and wins the Women's Royal Rumble match. She said that she'll have choices like Sasha or Ronda, while noting that she's beaten Sasha a lot and thinks that Ronda still has bruises from the last time Charlotte faced her. Flair mentioned that she broke Asuka's undefeated streak at WrestleMania last year. Fans chanted for Becky, so Flair did a woo to try to silence them, and it did work after a minute. She then mentioned Becky by noting that she may have owned her recently, but Charlotte has owned the division for 4 years and says that she's the main event. Asuka then attacked Becky from behind. Becky recovered and hit Asuka repeatedly as well. Officials and producers ran out to break this up, and Charlotte just walked back up the ramp with a smile like she was happy to watch them brawl. The refs did a shit job of breaking the fight up, and Lynch threw Asuka over the announce table and into the chairs. She then stood up on top of the table and jumped off with a forearm to take Asuka out. But then the refs and producers finally managed to separate the two, so Becky left.
Okay.
Yep.
Continue.
That was it.
Not according to Tiff.
Well, this is up to the commercial break.
Oh, because apparently there's also a backstage assault.
Yeah, that's after the commercial. But all right, we're going to do the whole thing in one shot.
Because I figure they're not going to get extra points for that, are they?
No. When the show returned, Becky and Asuka continued brawling in the backstage area. They were separated by the referees and the women screaming at each other. There you
So
go.
9 points to Becky and Asuka. Sorry, Tiff, your math is wrong.
Hmm?
She gave them 4 extra points because she counted it as 2 assaults.
Oh, okay. That's true.
And 5 points to Charlotte for instigating said assault.
Yep. Nine. 22. And then Becky. 9. 155. All right.
Mhm.
We saw a video package building up the Naomi and Mandy Rose feud. Then the ladies made their entrance, and Naomi and Mandy Rose had a match with Sonya Deville in Mandy's corner.
Mhm.
So let's see. Hang on. Oh, excuse me. So the match opened with Naomi attacking Mandy on the ramp and throwing her in the ring. Mandy came back with a slap to the face. Naomi responded with a backhand slap. This led to a commercial break. We came back with Naomi kick to the face, clothesline and a back elbow. Rose came back with a clothesline of her own, drove a knee into Naomi's throat. Naomi came back with a kick to the head and some forearms and a head scissors that sent Mandy across the ring. Mandy put Naomi on the apron, and then Sasha grabbed Naomi's foot while the ref was distracted, and Mandy sent Naomi into the ring post. She then pinned Naomi to win the match.
All right. So 11 points to Sonya Deville for accompanying an interference.
Yep. 11 points. There is it. So we're at 55.
10 points to Naomi for doing all the work.
Yep.
And 26 points to Mandy Rose for actually winning a match.
Nice. This becomes 71, 81, and 6 is 87.
Yep.
All right. Post-match, Jimmy Uso came out to check on Naomi. She said she was fine, but she was clearly disappointed about the loss. I'll give a 3 to Jimmy Uso for being on the show.
Okay.
All right. Next up, Rey Mysterio did an interview promo, talking about how in 2006 he won the Royal Rumble after lasting over an hour in the match, and that Sunday is about repeating history. Tonight is about respect. And he noted that Zelina Vega has been banned from ringside, so the playing field is even, and said that Andrade will learn that in order to gain respect, you need to earn it.
Yep. So 5 points to Ray Ray
Yes.
for making an Undertaker promo.
Yep.
But gotta learn the hard way.
Yep.
Then moving on.
Yep. Let's see. We saw the Miz getting backstage, getting ready for his match, and after the commercial, he makes his entrance with Shane. And they came out together.
Mm-hmm.
And that they'll be challenging Sheamus and Cesaro for the SmackDown Tag Titles on Sunday.
They are the Bar.
Yep. The Bar then made their entrance. There's a clip from last week where Miz pinned Sheamus with a roll-up, while Shane saved Miz from Sheamus, and Shane hit a coast-to-coast dropkick into Sheamus' face. And we have a match of The Miz with Shane in his corner versus Cesaro with Sheamus in his corner. And Cesaro unloaded with some uppercuts to open the match up, but followed with a gut-wrench suplex and then a backbreaker, got a 2 off it. Miz did a roll-up that he turned into a figure 4, which he locked in, but Sheamus pulled Cesaro out of the ring to save him from that. Miz went after them, and Cesaro decked Miz with an uppercut while on the floor. After a commercial break, the match came with Miz getting some momentum with some kicks and then a running corner drop kick that he likes to do. The second drop kick looked a little weak. Miz with some corner clotheslines. He then jumped off the rope there, but Cesaro hit him with an uppercut on the way down. Cesaro went for a pin with his feet on the ropes, but Shane knocked the feet off the ropes, and Sheamus then sent Shane into the barricade. Cesaro then put Miz against the ropes, and Sheamus hit a cheap knee to the head that the ref didn't see because I never saw. And then Cesaro hit the Miz with a neutralizer for the pinfall. Points.
So Sheamus and Shane, 5 for being there. Well, actually, they should get 11 points for interfering as well.
Yeah.
So 11 points to Shane Miss for accompaniment and interference.
Okay.
Then we'll go to Damis.
Damis.
8 points for being Damis.
See about 110.
And Cesaro.
Yep.
Just 31 points for winning a match.
Okay.
And doing a lot of uppercuts.
92. All right.
Post-match. Jim?
Yep.
Post-match.
Yes. Shane hit a running shoulder tackle that put Sheamus into the steel steps. Cesaro went after him, and Shane sent him into the ring post. He then placed Cesaro on the announce table, climbed to the top rope teasing a dive, but Sheamus shoved Shane off the top and into the barricade at ringside, then whipped Miz into a ring post. Then Cesaro held Shane up, and Sheamus hit a bro kick to put him down. Miz then actually went on top of Shane to protect his partner, and then he got put on the table, and then Sheamus and Cesaro picked up Shane and slammed him onto Miz through the table.
All right. So, The Miz gets 4 points for assault.
Okay.
All right. Shane gets 5 points for assault and the shoulder tackle. All right.
Yep. Okay.
Cesaro gets 9 points for assault and the table spot.
$101.
And Sheamus gets 10 points for assault, bro kick, and the table spot.
86. Okay.
Moving on.
Let's see. Vince was shown watching on a TV as Shane and Miz got checked on at ringside. We go to a commercial. Saw a commercial for NXT TakeOver again.
All right.
We then go out to the ring, where Vince McMahon makes his entrance.
Mhm.
And he said that he's going to reserve comment for what just happened to Miz and Shane, but said that it will be a hell of a match at the Royal Rumble. He said, speaking of the Royal Rumble, that brings us to 2 of the most competitive WWE stars of all time. He introduced the phenomenal AJ Styles, who got a good ovation from the crowd. And then introduced the WWE champion, the new Daniel Bryan, who was booed. Bryan walked out to ringside and Vince told him to get in the ring, but Bryan stood on the floor defiantly, saying that he's not stepping in the ring with a sociopath like AJ Styles, who slammed him into processed animal carcasses last week. Slammed him into the hot dog stand. He says he's too embarrassed to step in the ring with Styles, and says that he had a vision for a future with AJ Styles as the WWE Champion, and he said that it looks like an ignorant, impotent, and illiterate future. He says it's why he can't allow Styles to take the title from Bryan, and says that Styles uses his power to get fame and money, while Bryan uses his power for the greater good.
Who does you think he is? Drew Gulak?
Apparently.
Daniel Bryan for a better SmackDown Live?
Yeah. AJ Styles replies and asking Daniel Bryan if the greater good includes talking like a jackass. Bryan said that's why these people want Styles to be their champion, because you make them laugh, cheer, and jump out of their seats. He said that Styles doesn't make them think or feel guilty about their actions that they should feel guilty about every single day of their lives. He says he didn't care about their feelings because he's not the people's champion. He's the planet's champion. The crowd booed, and Bryan said that the planet needs him to use this platform to be the planet's voice. Styles replies that if the planet had a voice, it would be screaming at Daniel Bryan to shut up. He added that Bryan didn't pedal his bicycle to get there. He jumped on a plane just like Styles did, and that the word for that is fickle, which is a favorite word of Bryan. The fans chanted fickle at him, and Bryan said that they are fickle, not him. Styles then said that Bryan's just afraid of standing across the ring from him and afraid of getting into the ring with him tonight, just like at 5 days of the Royal Rumble. Styles said that Bryan should be afraid and wondered what Bryan will have left when he takes the WWE title from him. Nothing. Bryan then spoke up again, and Vince said he's tired of this and told Bryan to get in the goddamn ring. And Bryan said that, of course, Vince doesn't want to listen because Vince and the baby boomer generation are the parasites of this world.
Well, of that, he's not quite wrong.
Vince, you and your generation put profits over the planet every single time.
Yeah.
And he spent minutes ranting about the economic and environmental debt that they've created while, the people are satisfied with Instagram and Facebook and social media stuff. And ignore the fact that Vince and billionaires like him just rape the planet and the people.
Pretty much. Wait, I thought Daniel Bryan was the heel.
I know.
What the hell?
And, he created an environment where AJ Styles has become a hero. And Vince replied, damn it, I'm not going to tell you again, get in the ring. And AJ Styles told Vince it's okay, no need to get upset because there's supposed to be a face-to-face confrontation. And AJ makes the point that, it can be face-to-face. Doesn't necessarily have to be in the ring. So AJ left the ring and gets into a brawl with Daniel Bryan at ringside. He whips Bryan into some steel stairs, then rolls him into the ring. He goes for a phenomenal forearm, but Daniel Bryan hides behind Vince, so AJ stops before doing the move, and Bryan then hits a running knee to the face of AJ Styles to put him down. Bryan then takes his belt and goes home.
Okay, according to Tiff, Daniel used the ring stairs at some point. Or did I miss that part when you went over it?
Say.
Huh?
I'm checking, hang on. No, AJ threw Daniel Bryan into the stairs.
Oh, okay. That doesn't count.
No.
So is that it then?
Seemed like it.
All right, well, AJ gets 4 for the assault.
Yep. And 5 for a promo.
And 5 for a promo.
Okay.
And Daniel Bryan gets 13 points for an assault, a running knee, and using Vince as a shield.
Okay, then.
Well, doesn't that count as evading the phenomenal forearm?
That's true. I'll give him that.
So he gets 3 points for using Vince as a shield.
Yep, all right. All right. We cut backstage to Carmella and R-Truth, who are still talking about how they're going to enter the Royal Rumble matches at their respective Rumble matches at number 30. And Truth talks about how once he wins the Royal Rumble match, he'll face either AJ Styles or the new Daniel Bryan, depending on the outcome of their match. And Carmella replies to R-Truth that given this, depending on the situation, he could also have the option to face Brock Lesnar. And Truth looked at her like she was out of her mind and said that absolutely not. He does not want to get taken to Sioux Falls City. Carmella corrected that it's Suplex City, and he said that too. Truth mentioned that he could take the briefcase and challenge for the cruiserweight title, but Carmella reminded him that there is a weight limit, and he then got offended that she called him fat and left.
Nah.
So a promo to Carmella and Truth.
Wait, if a cruiserweight wins the Royal Rumble, can they challenge for the cruiserweight title?
I see no reason why not.
Wow.
Good luck justifying that as the quote-unquote main event of WrestleMania, though.
Well, I don't think it's main event of WrestleMania. I think it's just for the title of your choice because, let's be honest, you can't have two main events.
Well, true, but that's not how the commercial advertises it.
Well, it's wrong unless it's sexist.
Yeah. Anyway.
Because the Women's Royal Rumble, you get the title shot too, and that's not necessarily the main event. It could be, but it's not guaranteed. And even if you win the Royal Rumble and you go on to WrestleMania to face the champ, that's not guaranteed to be a main event. In fact, I would say if you're on the SmackDown brand, that's almost guaranteed not to be the main event because Vince doesn't give a shit about you.
That is true.
So, no, it's not the main event. They're just outright lying.
Fair enough. Anyway. So, R-Truth.
I kind of want to see Mustafa Ali enter this Royal Rumble, win it, and just show up one day on 205 Live just to win cash, just to show up at WrestleMania and be like, no, I'm challenging for the Cruiserweight title, like kind of take it and then go back to SmackDown as a Cruiserweight champion.
I can see that. Anyway, R-Truth. It's a promo. So Carmella continues walking down the hallway as R-Truth walks off, and she runs into Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
And they trash talk where saying that the Royal Rumble isn't just a match, it's a tornado, while other women are trying to throw you out, and added that she's the gatekeeper in Gucci because she's number 30. And nobody is going to go through her. And Charlotte said that Carmella should be confident at number 30, and that while Charlotte doesn't know what number she is going to draw, she's confident too because she's Charlotte Flair. And she said that with a trip to WrestleMania on the line, the Rumble isn't the tornado. She is.
Yeah, good luck tornadoing Nia Jax.
Yeah. Nia Jax is about as much threat to win the Royal Rumble as the Big Show.
Oh, I didn't say she was going to win the Royal Rumble. I just said good luck throwing her out of the Royal Rumble.
Charlotte will find a way. 47. So the question I have here, should Carmella get another promo, given that she just continued walking down the hallway and then talked to somebody else?
That's a good question. I would say yes, because it's two different promos.
Okay. That's another promo.
Because it's not like it's a continuation of the previous promo.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. So that all happened. We then went to a commercial.
Yeah, so that's 10 points to Carmella.
We then went to a commercial.
Mm-hmm.
We then came back for the commercial.
Joe is gonna kill you.
Yeah, pretty much. Joe then proceeded to make Mustafa Ali his bitch.
Despite the fact Mustafa did all the work.
Yeah.
At least according to Tiff.
Well, let's see. He was aggressive, threw Ali out of the ring. Ali came back with some forearms off the ropes, then a drop kick. Joe elbowed him in the head, hit a headbutt, but missed a corner splash. When Ali went up, Joe hit him in the throat, which led to Ali bumping to the apron and then the floor. After a commercial, Joe was still in control of the action. He whipped Ali into the turnbuckle, hit him with a jumping kick to the head. Ali came back with a punch to the head and then his X Factor maneuver, sending Joe face first into the mat. Then hit a drop kick that sent Joe out of the ring and then a suicide dive. Took out Joe on the floor, then hit a crossbody block off the apron, and then a kick to the face, and 2 more super kicks and a tornado DDT out of the corner for a 2 count.
2 super kicks?
Yeah.
Okay, that needs to go up. Okay.
Ali went up top, but Joe tripped him, slapped him in the coquina clutch, and tapped his ass out.
Okay. So, Mustafa Ali gets 14 points for doing all the work. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Samoa Joe gets 28 points for making Mustafa his bitch. Moving on. Hello.
Sorry. Hiccups.
You're
Water.
not sorry at all.
All right, so Samoa Joe had 28 points.
Yeah.
Which is 138. All right. So following all this, you see a shot of Andrade warming up, then a commercial break. Then we come back, and I'm actually very impressed by this.
Okay.
Then they plugged the Royal Rumble kickoff show, and I really like the Royal Rumble kickoff team.
Okay.
The Royal and you mute. Anyway.
I'm here. I'm just cleaning up my desk while you're talking.
All right. So the Royal Rumble kickoff panel will consist of the following, and will include the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, and will include John Bradshaw Layfield, Jerry the King Lawler, Booker T, and Beth Phoenix.
Yeah, fuck JBL and fuck Shawn.
Fair.
Because JBL's an asshole and Shawn's a fucking sellout.
Okay, then.
There's a reason there's a reason JBL got fired, dude.
JBL didn't get fired. JBL quit.
He was forced to quit. It's Vince. He's lucky he had that option because Vince has fired people for less.
Well, let's see here. Speaking of which, apparently there's going to be the commentary teams themselves are going to be a little fancier.
Okay.
But we'll talk about that at the end when we do a Rumble predictions. I'm going to hold on to that.
Okay.
In the meantime, they announced 2 matches for the kickoff show, and that includes Buddy Murphy defending the cruiserweight title against Akira Tozawa and Kalisto and Hideo Itami. And Rusev What's that?
Of course, that's the kickoff.
Also on the kickoff show will be Rusev defending the U.S. title against Shinsuke Nakamura.
Okay. Poor Rusev.
Poor Rusev, indeed.
He finally gets the title, and they can't be bothered to put him on the actual card.
Yep. Hashtag sad Rusev.
Rusev Day.
Yes. Speaking of days, we cut to the New Day.
New Day?
They are in the back, and they are watching Royal Rumble footage on a laptop. I think it was a laptop. Might have been a tablet.
Were they filming for that Royal Rumble special on WWE's YouTube channel?
No, I don't believe so.
Because if you haven't seen that, you should watch it. It's pretty awesome because they had a bunch of superstars, male superstars, because it was just a men's Royal Rumble. Rewatch the Royal Rumble from last year. It's pretty awesome.
That's interesting.
I love that the New Day laughed at each other when they got eliminated.
Well, the New Day were hanging out watching footage. They were approached by Kayla Braxton, who asked them if they would be willing to eliminate each other in the Royal Rumble should it come down to it. And the New Day got pissed off at her, pointing out that they get asked this same question every goddamn year.
Okay.
And, Wood said, every year somebody else has this. First it was Tom Phillips, then it was Renee Young, then it was Mike Rome. Now it's you. Who's going to ask us next? Tony Chimmel? Tony Chimmel then popped in. Hey, New Day, get out of here, Tony Chimmel.
Nice.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. The best part of that is they told him to leave, and during the course of going to leave, Biggie just goes, "Do you see Edge here?"
Wow. Wow. No, but I hear his goons are back.
Yeah. Anyway. Kofi Kingston says that when one of us wins the Rumble, we all win the Royal Rumble. And Biggie said that they will dog walk everybody in this Rumble. But Kofi expresses fake nervousness. Like Kofi's like, "What?" And they're like, "Kofi, what do you look?" And Xavier and Biggie are like, "Kofi, why do you look so sad?" And Kofi's like, I don't know, guys. But what if this is the year I can't find a way to keep my feet from touching the floor?
Yeah.
And so they told him to keep his head up, and Xavier physically raises Kofi's head and points it toward the ceiling and says, "Keep your head up." And then Kingston says that he came up with an idea. And Kayla asked them what it was, but they told her there would be no insight into their strategy, and we'll have to wait to the Royal Rumble to see. Promo to the New Day.
Fair. I also love in that rewatch that, you have all these single superstars watching this. You had Adam Cole flanked by the Undisputed Era watching this, and stuff like that. But then when he gets to the New Day, because they're watching it together, I love how they remark, and I think it's Xavier who brings it up, but of course they all agree with him. They're like, how come people always turn on each other? Tag teams go into this, and they don't work as a team. Why the hell wouldn't you work as a team? 3 times the opportunity here. What the hell?
Yeah.
I'm like, he's got a point.
Yeah.
I also love that when it gets to the end, because it's, Shinsuke wins it. So Shinsuke finally shows up, and everybody kind of out of character watching this because it's them watching it. Shinsuke's the only one that stays in character, and it cuts to him, and he's just standing there, and he just kind of looks up at the camera, and he goes, "I was there. I don't need to watch this," and just walks off.
Nice.
But yeah, I just love that the New Day calls all the teams out on, why would you turn on each other? You're just kind of hampering yourselves, you idiots.
Yeah.
And they say that as they're pointing out, see, we help each other.
Good times. Anyway.
I love Xavier Woods in the New Day.
Rey Mysterio then made his entrance for the main event match. Andrade then followed alone because Zelina Vega is banned from ringside.
Fair. Question.
Answer.
How do we count pinfalls? Because it's a 2 out of 3 falls match, and they went to the 3rd fall.
It is. Each of the previous pinfalls is worth 3 points, the equivalent of an elimination.
So I need to add 3 points to these totals. Thank you. But she did not count the falls because I don't think we actually. I don't know if we actually, put something in there for how we count the falls.
We've had that policy, but I don't know if we wrote it down.
All right.
Yeah, it doesn't look like we have it noted on here, but that's okay.
All right.
Anyway. So Rey Mysterio and Andrade then have a 2 out of 3 falls main event match.
Oh, yes, they do.
It's nice they finally got somebody that Andrade can wrestle against.
Mm-hmm.
So open things up with a Mysterio head scissors takedown, sends Andrade right out of the ring, and then Mysterio follows with a springboard hurricanrana. Back from the break, Mysterio hits a kick to the head from the apron, then a seated senton. But when he went for the crossbody, Andrade drop kicked him to block it, got a 2 count off that. Mysterio hits a sunset flip powerbomb, gets a 2 off of that. I believe that's also referred to as the Canadian Destroyer.
The Canadian Destroyer is a pile driver, not a power bomb.
No, okay. Because I know he hit that move during the match, so.
Yeah.
Mysterio went for another leaping attack. Andrade countered him and led to a 2 count. Mysterio was on the turn.
If he hits the pile driver later in the match.
Oh, okay. Mysterio was on the turnbuckle. Andrade tripped him up on the ropes. Mysterio then tripped Andrade up, and Andrade got crotched. Mysterio went for a top rope hurricanrana, but Andrade stopped him on the middle rope, stepped up to the top rope, and then powerbombed him off the top for a 3 count. That was pretty cool. Andrade got the first fall off of this.
All right.
Mysterio took about a minute to get back to his feet, and the referee kept Andrade back, and then started the second fall. Andrade hit a slingshot into a powerbomb for a 2 count. But when he went for another powerbomb, Mysterio countered it into the Canadian Destroyer pile driver to get the second fall.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that brings the match to a 1-1. The match continued with Andrade going for a running knee. Mysterio moved out of the way, and Andrade bumped over the top to the floor. Mysterio tried to do a sliding body attack, but Andrade caught him, and Mysterio drove him into the barricade, then hit an enziguri to the head. He went for a sliding attack under the bottom rope, but Andrade got back to his feet, so Mysterio gave him a powerbomb into the barricade. Very innovative. Mysterio took while Andrade was incapacitated, Mysterio took a moment to grab a drink of water at ringside. He then went back to the apron and hit a springboard hurricanrana into a pinfall for 2. That move was formerly called the West Coast Pop, it's noted here. And he mutes.
Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to mute. And yes, you're correct about that.
Yeah. The fans chanted 619. Andrade slapped an armbar on using the ropes and then whipped Mysterio's left arm first into the turnbuckle, then hit a forearm to the face. They fouled out to the apron and Mysterio attempted a powerbomb on the floor, but Andrade landed on his feet and gave Mysterio a powerbomb into the ring post. Back in the ring, Andrade hit the hammerlock DDT for a 2 because they were by the ropes and Mysterio managed to grab a rope to break the count. Andrade then grabbed the Mysterio with an armbar in the left arm. And they went to the ropes, and Rey was going to jump on Andrade's shoulders, but apparently they missed up the bit, which led to a roll-up. Andrade put Mysterio on his shoulders, which led to a reverse hurricanrana. That led to a 2 count for Rey. Mysterio then sent Andrade into the ropes, went for a 619 and connected with it. But as he was about to go for the springboard attack, Samoa Joe jumped up, grabbed Rey, and powerbombed him onto the apron.
Was Samoa Joe down there, or did he just come out of nowhere?
He came out of nowhere.
Fair.
So Joe powerbombed Rey onto the apron, resulting in a DQ.
Random.
After this, Joe then got in the ring, whipped Andrade into the steel ring post really hard. And Corey Graves pointed out that this is all about eliminating potential Royal Rumble threats. Joe then pulled Rey in the ring and put the coquina clutch on him until Rey appeared to pass out.
Well, got to add a point to Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Samoa Joe then grabbed a microphone and cut a promo. He said that, I'm here to make a statement. What you see in this ring is exactly what I'll do to the 29 other superstars in the Royal Rumble. Because my name It's Samoa Joe, and Joe eats an RKO out of nowhere.
He's hearing the voices.
Pretty much. That got a very large pop. Orton fired up and posed, taunted a little bit, and then flashed a 3 on his fingers, indicating that Orton would like to tie Austin as a 3-time Royal Rumble winner on Sunday. And Orton's music then played. They replayed the RKO, and Orton then posed on the turnbuckle to end the show.
Fair. So we'll go from the end backwards. 1 point to Randy for the RKO out of nowhere.
Yep. Okay.
All right. 17 points to Samoa Joe for interfering in the match, power bombing Ray into the ring apron, cutting a promo, and beating them both up.
Yep. So that becomes 48 minus 2 is 155. Okay.
All right. We go to Andrade Cien Almas,
Yes.
who gets 30 points for losing the match.
30? Okay.
30. And that's because she gave him 5 points as an OMG for the power bomb off the top rope.
That's fair.
And then Ray, winning the match, gets slightly less points at 28.
Okay. So that becomes...
Because he's too old to be hitting OMG spots.
Right. So it puts him at 99.
That is your SmackDown to the totals.
Yes, quite. Let's see what we got. Over here.
Do it.
I'm doing it. All right. Oh, Tiff's starting to close the gap on you. We got the Extreme Legit Yes movement is at 28.94, followed at 25.08 by the Rowdy Last Kickers. I'm still way in the back at 18.76.
Fair.
$76. 25.08.
Well, unfortunately for Tiff, 205 Live was all me, so yeah. Well, unfortunately for the both of you, I suppose.
Yeah. All right, take us into 205, my friend.
So 205 Live, we kick off what I consider the match of the night, and that's saying a lot because the main event was fucking awesome. And it is the new guy, Humberto Carrillo, versus Gran Metalik in his debut match on 205 Live. Well, they say it's his debut match as an actual member of the 205 Live roster, so I guess when he came out last week, he wasn't actually part of the roster. And this was a hell of a match. And I don't know if it's because they've worked with each other before, which is possible because, you know, they're both luchas. Or if it's because since they're both luchas, they're just very familiar with the style, so they can just do shit on the fly. Either way, they worked very, very well together. And for once, WWE did a face v face match. So they came out, they shook hands, and they proceeded to put on a lucha clinic, which the fans very much enjoyed. You had counters left, right, and fucking center. You had Humberto doing an OMG, a top rope apron face buster.
Ow.
Yeah, he literally jumped off the top rope behind Gran Metalik, grabbed him by the back of the head, and as he came down, he angled it so he completely missed the apron, so he would just basically use gravity and momentum to just slam Metalik's face into the apron as he landed on the ground outside.
Ow.
It was pretty impressive. Not to be outdone, later in the match, Gran Metalik got an OMG of himself, and he did what I can only call a tope Hurricane Rana.
Yeah, he does that. That's one of his signatures now, I think.
Where he literally jumped over the top rope and Hurricane Rana'd him down off the apron. I was like, holy shit.
Yep.
That's impressive that he could just clear the rope like a fucking pole vaulter without a pole.
I think that's one of the new moves that they just put in the game, actually.
Is it?
I believe so.
Because I mean, that's literally what it does. He lifts his legs up so he clears it like a pole vaulter, then spins around, grabs him by the head with the legs, and just Hurricane Rana. It's fucking impressive. So I had to give that to him as an OMG because
That's fair.
off the apron. Come on. And then, so they go back and forth. They have a lot of high flying because it's lucha. Metalik with a bunch of open-handed chops, bulldog, his signature rope diving front kick. You got Umberto with a whole slew of shit. Rope ladder, springboard arm drag. What I call a corkscrew tope suicida. So where he basically lets a tope suicida and spins. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Nice.
And Humberto Carrillo in his debut match picks up the win against Grand Metalik in a move I've never fucking seen before.
Okay.
I call it the headstand diving Arabian press.
Okay, then.
He basically inverts himself in the corner, literally resting his shoulders on the two top ropes in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically kind of corkscrew flips over, bounces off the top rope with his legs into an Arabian press.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. You need to see this move. This guy is fucking awesome. Like, the shit that he's doing, I'm like, Jesus, where are you coming up with this stuff?
Yeah, that sounds wow.
Yeah, go. That's why this is my match of the night for 205 Live. I mean, there's only 2 matches, but you got to watch this match. You got to watch this guy wrestle. He is so good.
Okay.
So, yeah, Umberto with a debut win. So, congratulations to the new guy.
Nice. Good for him.
So, Grand Metalik gets 21 points for being awesome.
Okay, hang on. X96 puts him at 97. Okay.
By the way, I only know it was an Arabian press because Nigel called it an Arabian press. And I was like, oh, that's what that is.
Fair enough.
Oh, side note.
Yep.
Also debuting on 205 Live was
yes.
what is he also the very model of the modern superstar?
He is the very model of a modern major commentator.
Or that, yes. Freshly clean-shaven head. So he apparently took a razor to his head before coming to work that day.
Yep.
So there was no hair. And looking pretty dapper in his suit, I might add. He wore a suit.
Cool.
And he did a damn good job. I was impressed. But anyway, new guy, Humberto Carrillo. 45 points for an impressive debut.
Okay.
He also did something you don't see a lot of people do, and it's like, why? Like, that's kind of common sense. You should do this.
What's that?
Well, you know how Metalik has that signature open-handed chop that he likes to use all the time?
Mm-hmm.
So Umberto countered it by the most common sense thing.
Okay.
He blocked it.
Nice.
He literally just put up his arm and did a martial arts flex. No. It's just like, why don't people do that more often?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of how you block strikes. You literally just block it.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so we cut backstage to DM the GM's office.
Yep.
Drew Gulak and Jack Gallagher are standing there.
Wait, were there any points I needed to award?
No, just for the match. Did you award the match points that I told you about?
What was Humberto's? I didn't get Humberto's.
45.
65 and 8 is 73. Okay, you may continue.
So, yes, DM the GM's office, and Drew and Jack are there. Drew does not look happy. Jack just, looks like Jack. He's never happy. And Drew is like, see, that's why I hired that guy. I mean, you can't deny he's awesome, and he's gonna do very, very well here in 205 Live. He's kind of what 205 Live is all about. And Drew just kind of looks at him, kind of sputters for a minute, makes like he's gonna say something, and just goes, ah, just walks off.
Ah.
Pissed off that the new talent on 205 Live is a high flyer in the no-fly zone.
Yep.
And Jack Gallagher just stands there and gives DM the GM the evil eye before walking off after Drew.
Yeah.
So I gave Drew 5 for the promo just because he at least tried to say something and screamed.
Yep, that's fair.
And I gave Jack 3 for looking like Jack.
Okay, then.
Because apparently that's all Jack is good for these days is mean mugging.
Apparently.
He has the mustache for it.
Also true. You may continue.
So before anything else can happen, as Jack walks off frame, from that same side, Tony Nese walks in.
Okay.
And he makes a bid to get a rematch against Noam Dar, to which DM the GM is like, that sounds like a pretty good match. That sounds like that'd be a good idea. I'll take it under. I'll consider it. And Tony goes, consider it? What do you mean consider it? And Drake is like, well, that's not just something I can just, charge blindly into. I can't remember exactly what he says, but basically it's like, I can't just jump into the match like that. I have to weigh all the options and see if it really is a good idea for 205 Live.
Yeah.
And Tony is like, well, you can consider it all you want, but if I don't get that match, I'll find another way to beat up Noam Dar, and walks off.
Okay, then.
So basically, he's just threatened DM the GM with, if you don't give me the match, I'm going to go break the law.
Okay, then.
Because technically speaking, if it's not sanctioned, would that not constitute actual assault and battery?
Theoretically.
So, yeah, that's pretty much what he's threatening with. So
Sounds like it.
then we cut to somewhere else in the facility of Tozawa and Kendrick, and Tozawa actually does most of the talking. In English.
Wow.
He basically says, I'm going to win that Cruiserweight champion because I did not fly halfway around the world to become a joke.
Too late.
And Kendrick's like, what? You heard him. He says something. I can't remember exactly what Kendrick says, but he says a couple of things. And Tozawa's like, they just kind of go back and forth a little bit. Basically, Tozawa saying, I didn't come here to be a joke. I want to be taken seriously. I'm going to win this title. And he is a former Cruiserweight champion. And of course, as his gimmick is, he always grins at the end of his sentences.
Of course.
So 5 points to those gentlemen for an actually entertaining promo.
Fair enough. So let's see. That was Tony Nese and who?
That was Akira and Brian.
Oh, sorry. I didn't give Tony Nese his points for the thing you said he did before.
All right, we'll give him 5 for that too.
And then Akira Tozawa.
And Spanky.
And Spanky. Okay.
All right, we cut to another part of the facility where Kalisto and Lince Dorado are sitting.
Okay.
Or standing. And they proceed to cut a promo about why Kalisto is going to win the title.
Okay.
So 5 points to those gentlemen. They also managed to make Lucha sound really creepy.
Okay, then. Okay, so all 3 of them?
No, just 2 of them. Grand Metalik was off celebrating with Humberto Carrillo.
Oh, okay.
They were probably drinking tequila somewhere.
Fair enough. So, Lindsay. And Kalisto. Okay.
So then we get to the ring for the main event, the triple threat of Hideo Itami, Akira Tozawa, and Kalisto.
Okay.
And Kalisto and Tozawa come to the ring, and before Itami does, it cuts to gorilla position where Itami and Davari are standing there, and Davari proceeds to do all the talking.
Uh-huh.
And then Hideo Itami screams a bunch of stuff in Japanese and walks through the curtain. As his music hits.
Okay, then.
So Hideo comes out, and they have one hell of a match.
Okay.
This triple threat match is so good. For the most part, it was Akira and Kalisto versus Hideo Itami. Because they realized very quickly, fuck Hideo.
Yep.
So they proceed to make Hideo their bitch.
Okay.
And then try to beat up each other because, it's a triple threat match.
Right.
And Hideo, tries to take advantage of this. Before the match starts, though, as they're getting ready to fight, all of a sudden Buddy Murphy comes out, not dressed to wrestle, with the title.
Uh-huh.
And he casually walks around the ring, and he kind of is like, "Go wrestle. What are you looking at me for? You have a match."
Ah.
And he walks over to the commentary desk and sits down and proceeds to put a headset on.
Okay.
So throughout the entire match, the three gentlemen keep looking at him.
Uh-huh.
And to which Hideo fucked up and looked one too many times.
Okay.
Because he went up top to do something, turned around, looked at Buddy Murphy, turned around, and ate a face full of boot courtesy of Kalisto and an Enziguri.
Okay, then.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. You know, they would brawl outside, do moves, look at Buddy Murphy. Buddy Murphy's like, hi, yeah, whatever. At one point, they kind of do get in his face. I can't remember who gets in his face. It might have been Hideo, because Hideo. And Buddy Murphy just drops all pretenses and takes the headset off. And it's like, I'm not going to sit here with the headset.
Yeah.
And they get back in the ring. They keep fighting. And Buddy Murphy just kind of sits there a little bit off of the commentary table without the headset, watching the match.
Right.
It's a really, really good match. Until Buddy Murphy drops all pretenses, slides the ring, and beats up all three men.
Ah.
Because triple threat match, there ergo no rules.
Right.
At which point, Hideo basically acts like a whooped bitch and stays on the mat.
Mm.
And Tozawa and Kalisto are like, fuck that, get up and beat the shit out of Buddy Murphy.
Ah.
Yeah, they proceed to double super kick his ass. Kalisto proceeds to Salida del Sol his ass.
Okay.
Tozawa throws him out of the ring, suicide dives his ass. And then Kalisto's like, oh yeah, I have a match to win, and tope somersaults Akira Tozawa.
Yeah.
By this point, Hideo Itami, who's been playing bitch possum, actually gets up.
Uh-huh.
And Kalisto and Akira get back in the ring, and Hideo Itami beats... Basically, okay, so this was actually kind of cool. Kalisto and Akira get in the ring. Kalisto pulls Akira into the ring.
Uh-huh.
And I believe it was Akira, like, slams him into the corner.
Okay.
But, you know, but he kind of sells like he's kind of hurt, he's kind of tired, and he's like on the mat. Hideo Itami comes out of nowhere with a fucking basement drop kick over Akira Tozawa, slamming into Kalisto in the corner.
Nice.
And then he proceeds to turn around, pick up Akira Tozawa, falling knee strike 1, 2, 3.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
So the GTS 2.0.
Yes, they're calling it the falling knee strike.
Okay, then.
Even though the game calls it the GTS 2.
Fair enough.
Oh, also the original interference from Buddy Murphy before he slid into the ring is he picked someone up and like power bombed him on the apron, just boom.
Okay, then.
Slid in the ring and started to beat everyone up. So that it cuts to something and comes back and you see Arya Daivari has now come out and he's, you know, celebrating with Hideo in the ring. And then they're like looking at something and it spins around to the ramp and you see Buddy Murphy has come back out to kind of, you know, point at Hideo being like, yeah, you're not winning this. And it was like, I'm coming for your title. It's like, no, you're not.
Right.
Hinting that, yeah, Hideo's not winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a very good match.
Good.
Lots of counters and stuff like that. Lots of moves. So we will start with Arya Daivari 5 for the aforementioned promo.
Okay. Oh, crap, what did I do? Hang on, undo. There we go, okay.
Buddy Murphy, our Cruiserweight champion.
Mm-hmm.
Just 12 points for being on commentary, 6 for the interference, and 1 for the powerbomb.
How many is that?
12.
4. Okay.
We'll go over to Kalisto. And he gets 24 points for being in the main event. Specialty match.
Okay, so that becomes 47. It's 151.
All right.
Yeah.
Akira Tozawa.
Okay.
He gets 31 points for being in a main event specialty match.
31, 41, 143. Okay.
And your winner, Hideo Itami, the Japanese legend Kenta himself.
Yep.
Gets 52 points for winning that main event specialty match.
And 6 points for 158. Okay.
And that is your 205, your go home 205 live.
Alrighty, sounds like a plan. Let's see what we got over here.
Everyone fighting over the kickoff.
Data refresh. All right. So, rounding out the lead this week at 30.92. Extremely Legit Yes Movement. And second at 25.25 is the Rowdy Last Kickers. I'm still way back at 18.84. I'm now 1,200 points behind you. Do you still think I can catch up?
Yes. Because you have to remember, WrestleMania season, you're going to get Undertaker points.
We shall see.
And considering oh no, she's got him. Never mind. But yeah, you're going to get Undertaker points. And you'll probably get a bunch of other stuff too. And depending on who wins the title, you might get a whole slew of points.
Yeah, we'll see.
Speaking of which,
yep.
Over to the predictions.
Yeah, we'll do that in just a moment here. How about I go check the leaderboards first?
Okay, sure.
Because we do that.
We do that.
We do that. Top of the leaderboard at 217 is Finn Balor. Number one contender to the Universal title, followed by Seth freaking Rollins at 215. Just ahead of Dean Ambrose at 214. Sasha Banks, number one contender to the Raw Women's title, coming in at 189 off of a main event win. Lio Rush, the hype man, coming in at 172, just ahead of his associate, the almighty Bobby Lashley, the Intercontinental Champion at 166. Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey coming in at 162, just a point ahead of Chad Gable, one half of the Raw Tag Team Champions, who's at 161. Natalya is at 159, and rounding out the top 10 off that main event victory for 205 is Hideo Itami at 158.
Yep.
How is it I have the most people in the top 10 and I'm still losing?
Look who has the most people in the next 10.
Yeah.
There's your answer.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, Sammy and KO will be back soon.
And also because this is the first week you've had that many people in the top 10.
Also true.
So, predictions for the Royal Rumble.
Wait a minute, what the hell?
What?
I'm confused by something.
Alright, what are you confused by?
What the hell happened here? What the fuck happened?
What's wrong?
The teams are messed up.
How are they messed up?
I have Lio Rush. Tiff has Bobby Lashley.
How did that happen?
That's what I'm asking.
Maybe she should have Lio Rush then?
I guess.
You're going to have to take someone from her.
Or I could just be the one that's short a person, given that we have an uneven number.
But Lio Rush and Bobby Lashley should be together. That's why I made the trade with you in the first place.
Right, but did I not have Bobby Lashley?
I thought you did.
I thought I did too, so what the hell happened?
I don't know.
Well, that's not helpful.
Also, you could remove Jericho.
I'll deal with that later.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. That's weird. Because I swear you had Bobby Lashley.
I thought I had Bobby Lashley. Why do I suddenly not have Bobby Lashley?
I don't know.
Hang on a minute.
Well, what you could do is you can ask Tiff, who has Bobby Lashley on hers, because hers will have been the unedited list, right?
theoretically. Hang on. Let me just see here. Let's open this up.
Well, can we deal with this later off the air?
No, yeah, I'm just looking at the videos from the start of the season. Tiff has always had Bobby Lashley.
Huh. Okay, maybe we read it wrong then. Well, you'll have to figure out a trade between you and her then for Leo Rush and or Bobby Lashley.
Right.
Because they really should be on the same roster.
Well, obviously, I know that. That's why I'm questioning it.
Who has you have Hawkins? Who has Ryder?
She does.
There you go. Because Ryder and Hawkins should now be on the same roster as well.
Right.
So the question is, who's going to get shafted?
Well, who has the most champions? Because I have Brock and I have Gable and Rude.
I don't know, but she has the most points. You're kind of at the bottom.
I know, but that's what I'm trying to figure out.
We can figure it out later now that we kind of know what we're going to do with this.
If we're going into the pay-per-view, I'd like to have a proper whatever.
We can't really do this without her because to make the trade without her would be unfair to her.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out who has the champion situation.
Does it matter if the champions could change come tomorrow?
Yes.
Or today?
She has Buddy Murphy. And she has Ronda.
Yeah. And you have the. And she has the bar, doesn't she? Or do you have the bar?
No, she has the bar.
She has the bar because aren't they the tag champs?
Yes. As of right now, I have Brock, I have the other tag champs, and I have Rusev. So actually, she and I are even on champions.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I'm the one that has the least amount of champions, and I'm winning. What the hell?
True.
Because the only champion I have, I think, is Asuka, isn't it?
Well, and Bryan.
Oh, yeah, and Daniel Bryan. That's true.
Yeah, you have like the most important title.
I have the two big titles on SmackDown.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the two main SmackDown titles, whereas Tiff and I have pretty much evenly divided because we each have a tag title. We each have one of the mid-card champions.
Also, don't forget the champion landscape is going to change in the next month because next month we're getting women's tag champs.
Also true.
So don't worry about it.
I do worry about it, though. It's my job as the score guy.
Honestly, just looking at the straight up scores, although that could change, probably won't, but it could change after Thursday when we score the pay-per-view.
Uh-huh.
But if I was looking at the scores as they are now, I would say Tiff should just give you Bobby Lashley for Hawkins. That seems the most fair.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'll leave that between the two of you.
Whatevs. Anyway, so let's talk about the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and we'll go back as you can see me. There we go. I got messed up. There we go. Okay. So, first, some notes about the Rumble here. Because WWE has apparently put out the needed some information
Mm-hmm.
For who the commentary teams will be for each of the matches.
Okay.
So, we already know who the let's see. The kickoff show will begin at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. I'll feature analysis from the expert panel of Jonathan Coachman, Beth Phoenix, Booker T, and Jerry the King Lawler in the first hour, with Shawn Michaels and David Otunga tagging in for Booker and Lawler in the second hour. In addition, a second panel will include JBL and Charlie Caruso. All the while, Kayla Braxton, Dasha Fuentes, and Sarah Schreiber will be on hand conducting exclusive interviews.
Okay, then.
Then once the program starts, we'll run as follows. Because we're royally mixing this up here.
Okay.
The men's Royal Rumble match.
Uh-huh.
The Rumble matches are going to be called by 4-person teams.
Oh, shit. Jim?
Yep.
Tiff forgot to predict the Royal Rumble matches.
Oh, well.
These are the 2 matches she didn't predict.
Well, she's out of luck on that.
I guess.
Anyway, so the men's Royal Rumble match will be called by Michael Cole, Corey Graves, JBL, and Jerry the King Lawler. The women's Royal Rumble match will be called by Renee Young, Beth Phoenix, Tom Phillips, and Corey Graves.
So Beth Phoenix isn't going to be in it this year.
Nope.
Fair.
The Universal Championship match and Raw Women's title matches will be called by the usual Raw 3-person team of Cole, Graves, and Young. The WWE Championship match, the SmackDown Women's title match, the SmackDown Tag Team title match, and the U.S. title match will all be called by the usual SmackDown team of Tom Phillips, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxton.
Fair. And I assume the Cruiserweight Championship match will be called by the standard Cruiserweight team.
Yeah, Vic Joseph, Nigel McGuinness, and apparently Percy Watson is going to be there for it.
Okay.
I guess Aiden doesn't get to do that one.
Oh. They should have thrown him in there anyway, make it a 4-person team.
Yeah. The ring announcers for the Rumble will be Greg Hamilton and Mike Rome. So there you go.
Alrighty then.
It's a long night.
Well, kickoff show.
Yeah, hang on. Let me open up the match listing.
You do that.
Make sure we cover everything. Rumble 2019. All right. So, the pre-show matches. We have Buddy Murphy versus Akira Tozawa versus Hideo Itami versus Kalisto in a fatal 4-way match for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship.
Tiff's pick is either Buddy Murphy retaining or Akira Tozawa winning it.
Okay.
My pick going into it was Hideo Itami, but he just won a triple threat main event match, so I don't think he's winning it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Akira Tozawa because his previous reign was a joke reign.
It was.
So I'm gonna go with Akira.
That's fair.
What's your pick?
I'm gonna go with Buddy Murphy on a retention.
All right.
I think he's doing a good job as the champion. I don't see a reason they would take the belt off him at this point in time.
Fair.
All right, our other pre-show match is Rusev defending the U.S. title against Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah. Tiff says Nakamura takes it back because they've done shit with the belt since Christmas.
Yeah.
I say Rusev retains, finally ends the feud, and then they can finally do something with the belt and Rusev.
That would be nice. I agree. Rusev, because it makes no sense to give Shinsuke the belt back because he didn't do shit with it when he had it.
It's not true. He had the United States of Knock America.
I'd rather live in Mex America.
Okay, then.
Anyway.
Yeah.
What else on the main card? Let's see here. What do we got? All right. The Bar defending the SmackDown tag titles against The Miz and Shane McMahon.
Tiff says The Bar because she doesn't see Miz and Shane going far as a tag team, and she thinks Miz is going to fuck it up.
Yeah, I could see that.
I agree. I think The Bar is going to retain.
Then again, I could see them briefly giving them the belt, if only to kind of put this over, and then having it be that whole, the tag team champions are now breaking up and hating each other because Shane finds out that Miz lied about the whole thing just because he wanted to have success and was using Shane.
I could see that too, but then I would question, would they sacrifice The Bar for that?
Yes.
Fair.
Yes, they would. Need I remind you, The Bar lost the tag titles to Braun Strowman and a 10-year-old.
True. Okay, I retract my earlier statement. I'll go with The Miz and Shane just for that storyline because that makes too much sense. I will side with the stash. That makes too much sense.
Anyway, let's see what else we got here. All right, what's we got? Asuka defending the SmackDown Women's title against Becky Lynch.
Tiff thinks Becky is going to win it back because she's spending a lot of time in cheers, and we haven't seen much from Asuka. I disagree. I think Asuka is going to retain because she needs it, and I think she's going to retain, and they're going to do more with her because if the rumors about Ronda Rousey are true, they need to push that 4 Horsewomen feud now, and they can't do that with Becky as the champion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they could, but if they did that, that would severely fuck up WrestleMania. I don't think they would do that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Asuka because the heavy rumor right now, and I guess there's been some substantiation, but not totally substantiated, that originally it was believed Ronda had a multi-year deal with WWE, but it is now believed Ronda has only had a 1-year deal, and her contract is up at WrestleMania.
I have heard the contrary.
And that the reason she has such a short contract is because she wants to take some time off after that for personal stuff, i.e., like actually starting a family and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that she'll probably still continue to do stuff for the WWE. She just won't be an in-ring competitor. She might just do like some goodwill stuff.
Okay. Well, apparently, as of this past Thursday morning,
mm-hmm.
The morning of the 24th, the news was breaking about Rousey leaving shortly before WrestleMania, but new details have emerged saying that might not be the case. Dave Meltzer broke the initial story in the Wrestling Observer newsletter.
Big, huge grain of salt.
Yep, there was a decent amount of talk about it eternally. Pro Wrestling Sheets Ryan Satin and more of the situation saying she was leaving so she could start her family with MMA fighter Travis Brown. However, it'll just be a break because according to TMZ, who spoke directly to WWE informed her that the contract that Rousey signed with WWE back in January of 2018 does not expire until April of 2021.
Oh.
Which would give her enough time to come back and compete up through WrestleMania 37 if she wished. So the running theme is that Ronda will take some time off after WrestleMania and will then have time to start a family and will then come back down the line.
Yeah, but even if that's the case, still, if they want to do that 4 Horsewomen feud, they have to do it now. They don't have a choice. They won't have another opportunity.
Why not? They could just do it when she comes back.
Because by the time she comes back, it'll be irrelevant. People will have forgotten about it. And
I doubt that.
The other thing, too, that has been revealed is that her husband also works for the WWE.
Hmm?
Apparently, he is in the Performance Center and is training.
Okay, then.
So apparently, he will be joining her in the WWE, presumably when she comes back, or maybe to kind of take over the earning of the monies for the family while she is with child.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so it's been revealed hubby is with the WWE and is presumably training for a debut.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Hmm?
Also, Just a random note from yesterday, by the way. Congratulations to Jake Hager, formerly known as Jack Swagger, for winning his MMA debut at Bellator 214.
Nice.
That's cool. Good for him.
Well, unlike CM Punk, he's actually fought before.
Yeah. Nice. Apparently, in NXT TakeOver earlier tonight, Johnny Gargano debuted a series of Dark Phoenix-themed ring gear.
Really?
Yeah, because it's in Phoenix. It's TakeOver Phoenix.
That's true. Well, he did heel turn for some odd reason.
Yeah, that's cool. Anyway, back onto the Rumble match. I don't know. I could see them building the storyline by having either Becky and Ronda themselves or their respective associates fucking up each other's matches. Like I could see the MMA people fucking around with Becky's match to cost her the belt, and I could see Bayley and if not outright Charlotte getting involved to fuck Ronda.
Well, Bayley definitely considering her tag team partner is the number one contender.
Yeah, but Charlotte has Ronda beat Charlotte at the pay-per-view, so or what have if Charlotte hadn't busted a chair out. So I get the feeling that she might want to get more assaulting on Ronda, but we'll see. Now, mind you, we don't know the order of matches. That's assuming that one or both of those women's matches is not post Women's Royal Rumble.
Those are the Royal Rumble matches are usually the last ones because usually the loser of said title match enters the Rumble.
You clearly didn't watch last year's Royal Rumble pay-per-view then.
Why was it not that way? Because I know it's been that way in the past.
No. The men's Royal Rumble match was always the last match, but that was before they added a second Royal Rumble match.
Fair.
They're not going to do two Rumbles back-to-back. That would be exhausting as fuck for the audience.
Well, it would be like, say, the men's title match, the men's Royal Rumble, and then the women's title match, and then the women's Royal Rumble.
Well, last year the pay-per-view opened with the women's Royal Rumble. Sorry, with the men. Sorry, let me amend that. The pay-per-view, I think the men's Rumble was, if not the opening match, then the second match, because the first ever women's Rumble closed the show.
Fair.
Hang on, let me verify this. Where's that link? How about 18? Let's see.
Is he really calling himself Johnny Takeover now?
Okay, then.
Wow. Well, apparently he won, but still.
Oh, good for him, I suppose.
Yeah, apparently his new ring trunks on his ass, it says Johnny Takeover.
All right, then.
I was looking up the Dark Phoenix gear.
Ah.
I expected a little more.
Fair enough. Well, way to not have the actual Royal Rumble matches in the match. Oh, wait, that's the women's one. Oh, there it is. All right.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay. So basically, Johnny heel turns, wins the NA championship, and reunites with Tommaso Ciampa, who I guess retained the title, the main title.
Nice. Oh, good for them. So the men's Rumble was actually, so it wasn't at the beginning, but basically the men's Rumble was the third match on the card after the AJ handicap match against Kevin and Sammy, and the Usos defending the tag titles. So the men's Rumble was actually the third match on the card. Then there were two more matches, and then the women's Rumble closed the card. So depending on if they alternated this year and have the men's Rumble be the end match again, then the women's Rumble could be earlier in the card, and one or both of the women's title matches could be post-Rumble, and therefore a Rumble winner, whoever it might be, could interfere in one of those matches to further the storyline, assuming the Rumble winner was one of the appropriated women from the two Horsewomen factions.
True, and that's fair.
So I'll have to say. So if we're working on that note, then how about Rousey versus Sasha?
Well, Tiff says it could go either way, but if they're going to keep Sasha and Bayley as a tag team and have them go for the tag titles, which I could totally see since they've been building them up as a tag team.
Yeah,
she thinks that Ronda will keep the belt, and I concur.
That makes sense.
With how hard they've been pushing Sasha and Bayley as the Hug and... I mean, they went so far as to give them a name, the Hug and Boss Connection. Like, they're obviously pushing them for the tag titles.
Boss and Hug. That's fair.
So I concur with that.
All right, that makes sense. All right, so Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship.
Tiff says, despite the fact that we've seen AJ Styles with a long run already, she's saying Styles because she doesn't like Daniel Bryan as a heel.
Which is fair. But Daniel Bryan as a heel, it's over as a heel like fuck. There's no way they're taking that belt off him.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan is. I like Daniel Bryan as a heel. I think he's doing phenomenal as a heel.
Ah, phenomenal. I see what you did there.
Yeah. Daniel Bryan is money as a heel, dude. Holy shit. He's got some of the best promos of his career as a heel.
He has. It's great. All right. So we got that one. Meanwhile.
Yeah, so I say Daniel's going to retain.
All right. So.
Also, I don't see them giving a big win like going over Daniel Bryan to someone who is older than Daniel Bryan and more over than Daniel Bryan could ever hope to be.
Mm-hmm.
This is AJ Styles. He's like the most over superstar in the world. And like I said, he's older because AJ's going to retire in like a year. So, So he doesn't need the victory. I see them saving that victory for maybe someone they call up from NXT or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could see them saving it for Mustafa Ali. I could see them as that's the reason why they didn't pull the trigger with Ali, because they need to get AJ out of the way first.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you imagine if Mustafa, who's already pinned Daniel Bryan, comes out, like, say, at WrestleMania against Daniel Bryan and wins?
Mm-hmm. That'd be a big deal.
So, yeah, that's where I think it's going.
All right. Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor for the Universal Championship.
Tiff says it could go either way, but if she had to pick, it'd be Finn Balor. And I concur. I think Balor's going to win.
I like Balor to win. I think he deserves to win. But unfortunately, given that we're going on to the road to WrestleMania, I'm not so sure that they're going to take the title off of Brock. They could. But
I think they will, and you'll find out why when we get to the Men's Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Yep. I think if this is the way they're going with it, Finn has to win this match.
Okay.
Personally.
Well, we'll get there in a second. First, let's do the Women's Royal Rumble match.
Beats the shit out of me. I have no fucking clue.
All right. Confirmed participants include Carmella, Ember Moon, Natalya, Bayley, Ruby, the whole Riot Squad, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, Alicia Fox, Zelina Vega, Naomi, Mickie James, Billie Kay, and Peyton Royce, Charlotte, Tamina, Dana Brooke, Lana, Nia Jax, Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss, and Lacey Evans.
And I assume that leaves room for surprise entrants.
Yes, that's 23 of the 30 entrants are known, so 7 entrants are unknown.
Fair. There's probably going to be some legends, like Molly Holly will probably come back again.
I could see it.
I don't know.
It's been my experience that most people are putting their money on Charlotte.
I could see that, especially if Ronda retains her title. I could see Charlotte winning it and going after Ronda on Raw.
It would make sense.
I could see that.
I believe it.
In fact, ooh. Okay, here's my prediction as to how this is going to go down. I just got an idea.
Okay.
Asuka retains the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Okay.
Charlotte wins the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Ronda retains the Raw Women's Championship.
Okay.
All right. Charlotte jumps to Raw to go after Ronda, brings Becky with her.
Okay.
There's your 4 horsewomen feud.
There you go.
Calling it now. You heard it here, folks, on the XFL.
Yeah, here's the problem with that.
What's that?
I have one issue with this.
Okay.
Do that. Cool. You just abandoned the SmackDown's women division to be Asuka and nobody. You're leaving Asuka down there to compete with the likes of Naomi and Carmella. Which, no disrespect to Naomi. Naomi's a good competitor, and Carmella's not terrible. But I'm sorry, they're a downgrade from Charlotte and Becky. Unless you have some other women you're gonna send over to SmackDown to boost that division.
Well, that's when you start pushing the people you've been burying the whole time, like the Iconics.
Maybe, but nobody takes her seriously at this point.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You would need to either send somebody from Raw, like you would need to send like Nia Jax or somebody over there to feud with Asuka.
Or that's when you call up Kairi Sane from NXT.
Or that would be the alternative option. We'll see. I mean, either that or give Lana another chance and let her feud with somebody.
Yeah, I think Lana's totally underrated. I think she's actually pretty good.
Or, assuming she's as good as she appears to be and you want to push her, let Asuka feud with Zelina Vega.
Yeah, or if they're going to go with the Four Horsewomen feud, they could always just put Natalya back on SmackDown to give them someone credible.
They could do that too. That's legit.
Because I'd love to see Natalya versus Asuka. I think that'd be an amazing match.
Yeah. If they want to send someone over to SmackDown to carry the women's division, they should send Mickie James.
Yeah, that could work too.
Anyway.
But honestly, if you're going to make Asuka the cornerstone, the first person I would send over is Kairi Sane. Give her someone that she's comfortable working with.
I can see that.
To build her up.
That makes sense. All right.
Or what's her face? That legend that they brought in for the Mae Young Classic.
Uh-huh.
Debut her on SmackDown and put her against Asuka. There you go.
There you go. Io Shirai?
Io Shirai, yeah.
Okay, I can see it. All right, so lastly, but certainly not leastly, we have the men's Royal Rumble match.
Seth freaking Rollins.
I will note that we currently have 20 of the 30 entrants announced. They include R-Truth, Drew McIntyre, the 3 members of the New Day, Seth Rollins, Jeff Hardy, Dean Ambrose, Bobby Lashley, Samoa Joe, John Cena, Elias, Baron Corbin, Jinder Mahal, and Apollo Crews, Andrade, Mustafa Ali, Rey Mysterio, Titus O'Neil, and Randy Orton.
Wow, the Singh brothers don't even rate.
Nope.
Yes, my pick is still Seth freaking Rollins.
Okay.
Because think about this. Finn Balor wins the Universal Championship, right?
Uh-huh.
Seth Rollins wins the Royal Rumble. WrestleMania, Seth versus Finn. Rematch of the first ever Universal Championship match.
I can see it. And as much as I have no problem with Seth winning, and I agree that seems like the most likely possibility, I have to still put some of my money behind Drew McIntyre, because with how heavily they've been pushing him,
yeah,
if they don't do something major with him for WrestleMania, they're going to kill all the momentum they gave him. They have to do something.
Yeah.
Even if it ends up being like a triple threat feud, I feel like he has something. I feel like this would be a great opportunity for Drew McIntyre to take that step up he was never able to take the first time that he was here, to really put him that much over. I mean, he's so good in the ring. He's so good on the mic. I can easily see him taking and winning this match and then going on to WrestleMania. And Seth could earn his way in too. They could do a Seth and Drew eliminate each other at the same time to end the match deal. And then, both earn the main event at WrestleMania and go on to face Finn, and they have a triple threat match.
Tell me how awesome this would be.
Okay.
So Seth wins the Royal Rumble. Drew's pissed. Walks out on Raw. Shows up on SmackDown and beats up Daniel Bryan.
That would be good too.
And he just face turns right then and there, faces Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, beats him for the title.
That'd be interesting.
And tell me that wouldn't be an awesome match.
That would be a good match. You are not wrong. I could see it. I guess we'll have to see where it goes.
Because I could see him showing up on SmackDown and Vince showing up with him and being like, "You're only getting one more chance. You were the chosen one. No longer. This is your last chance. You either beat Daniel Bryan or you're fired."
Mm-hmm.
And he comes in, face turns, becomes the chosen one, beats Daniel Bryan, and proves that Vince and everyone wrong.
I can see it.
And then once he has a title, then he can pull a Daniel Bryan and heel turn back into the fucking Scottish Terminator.
There you go.
For a top heel on SmackDown to push someone else. Because I could totally see Drew just running SmackDown. Like, I could see him being the cornerstone of SmackDown. And think about it. If he does that, you know who's going to step up to try to take that title from him.
Who?
AJ Styles.
Yeah,
AJ versus Drew, that'd be a hell of a feud.
it would be. Now, here's an interesting possibility.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. Now, obviously, they warned that they've been promoting it, but WWE is known to pull switcheroos at the last minute.
Yeah.
Do you think R-Truth will actually end up being number 30?
Honestly, yes. I think he's going to come in at number 30, and I think he's going to be tossed right the fuck out.
Okay. Because there have been rumors of theories of, maybe R-Truth gets jumped backstage by somebody, or something happens where R-Truth ends up not being in the match, or based on R-Truth, on R-Truth's gimmick, he comes out at the wrong number or something.
I could see that.
And the number 30 entrant ends up being somebody else, and they pull a huge surprise, like Roman Reigns comes back or some shit.
I could see that too. Yeah. I think it'd be a lot funnier if he actually does come out at number 30 and just gets tossed right the fuck out.
That'd be interesting. I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Anything can happen in the WWE.
It's true. All right. Well, Jeff, thank you for joining me. Tiff, thank you for your contributions to the show as always. And we will make sure everybody tunes into the Royal Rumble. Pre-show starts tomorrow at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. The program proper starts at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific.
And we'll be scoring that on Thursday as per the usual.
Yeah, that'll be scored on Thursday per the usual. And next weekend, we will jump back in with you for the regular scoring of the week. Also, stay tuned tomorrow after the Royal Rumble, because we will be here on this channel and we will be reviewing the most recent Starkid musical, The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals, as the kickoff for our year of Starkid. Join us for that. We'll see you next time, folks. Peace.